Offense for the Warriors. Quarterback number 4, running back 27, running back 31, fullback 89, wide receiver 14, Jordan Martinez, wide receiver 16, Odell, number 57, Derek Spurr, left guard 71, Ross Palmer, center 58, right guard 74, Bruce Steeler, right tackle 77, Alex Wiggins, long snapper number 59, Taylor Wilson, snapper for PAT, Joe Bruce Steeler, holder number 7, runner number 28, Colin Everett, kickoff at PAT number 3, defense for the Warriors, defensive end 66 point Paula. Defensive tackle 59, Taylor Wilson. Defensive tackle 95.
One that gave up 45 points against Dowling last year, as this game was tied between Dowling and Waukee, and it was a great second half by the Maroons. But they are building and holding true to their defense. Waukee's going to build on that.
Yeah, you'll see a lot of different looks from Waukee's defense, and with that experience, they'll probably try to put Dowling in uncomfortable situations. Dowling will try to get matchups where they have numbers. It'll be a chess match. You'll see a lot of press coverage on the outside. You'll see 2 high safeties, different looks from Waukee's defense, and with 7 guys back, you have to be fundamentally sound. And Dowling has to like that they have a lot of experience up front, because that will help.
All right, you're listening and watching the pregame show here on Iowa Catholic Radio. Coming up, head coach Tom Wilson. I had a conversation with Coach about tonight's game. The Maroons, the defending 6-time champs in Class 4A. And I'll talk with the athletic director and head football coach at Dowling Catholic when our pregame show returns. I'm Mark Amadale along with John Chido and Matt Mainring. Back with more here on the Central Iowa Sports Network and Iowa Catholic Radio.
Labor Day 10 to 4. Chevy Labor Day sales event through September 3rd. No payments for 90 days. 0% for 72 months plus over $6,000 off Silverado double cabs. 0% for 60 months plus over $6,000 off Silverado Crew, 1LTs, and SPs. No payments for 90 days. Save in Waukee. 0 for 60 plus up to $3,000 off Equinox. No payments for 90 days. 0 for 72 plus up to $2,200 off Trax. No payments for 90 days. Open Labor Day 10 to 4. Schottenkirk Chevrolet Waukee. WaukeeChevy.com.
And welcome back to the pregame show here on Iowa Catholic Radio and the Central Iowa Sports Network. Mark Amadale now visiting with head coach Tom Wilson of Dowling Catholic as the Maroons start their season against Waukee tonight here at Valley Stadium. And Coach, thanks for joining us. Hard to believe it's year 15 for you here at Dowling Catholic, but I guess it has been that long. Welcome back.
Oh, thank you. It's great to be back, and it's hard to believe it has been that long, but it is, and glad to be here.
Well, Coach, appreciate you taking time once again this year. Hope to talk to you at halftime and postgame throughout the season, at least of the 9 regular season games, and we'll go from the fourth in the playoffs. So I know Dowling fans really enjoy that, hearing from their head coach and being open to
And it's been a good partnership, and we appreciate the fact that we're on the radio and that you guys do a great job, so happy to do it.
Well, Coach, let's talk about this 2019 Dowling team taking on a Waukee team. Oh, by the way, it's a top 10 matchup according to all the media, which hypes it up, makes for a great crowd tonight here at Valley Stadium. But offensively, you returned 5 starters, 3 of them the reserves, and 2 starters, and you have 3 reserves in that defensive mix. So a little bit of experience, but I think as I look back to last year, you kind of start the first game with your captains, and that's very important, leading both the offense and defense this year. Talk about that a little.
Well, it is, and you lean on the guys that do have experience, and it doesn't seem like we have a lot back, and part of that is we had such a great group a year ago that really led us, especially down the stretch, and some of those guys were there for that ride and gained valuable experience, and we'll lean on them and how they're doing and follow their lead, and hopefully they can lead us in a positive direction. You mentioned the captains. I think they've done a great job so far. Really, Theo Davis and Mike Keogh have really stepped up for us defensively. Owen Schultz isn't a captain, but he has been a leader, and he's a tremendous player. Chris Owsley is another kid that's played quite a bit and has really stepped up in a leadership role on the defensive side, and we're going to need that. And there's going to be some ups and downs as they grow, but hopefully we're better at the end than what we are right now. And offensively, it really starts with the two linemen we have back in Bowles and Nank, and they played 13 games a year ago, so they have valuable experience. Lynch played for us as a sophomore. Now he's an upperclassman. Teagan played an awful lot, as did Stillwell. So we feel like we've got some pieces here and there, and we have to build on those, and hopefully we can gain experience and get better as we go.
Well, Coach, every team's different, every year's different, and certainly this year has no exception. You have 5 seniors that are starting on the offensive line tonight in Week 1 against the Waukee Warriors. So up front offensively, starting a senior lineup, but you look at the juniors, they're going to catch up, and I know you got a sophomore in the mix in Chase Patton, so kind of a mixture of experience, but yet you've got a mixture of an opportunity for the youngsters, the underclassmen to step up too in the offensive line.
Well, you're right, and we are counting on those seniors, but yet, and when you have 5 seniors up front, you usually win with seniors, but yet we're going to have some newer guys play, significant roles for us. Hank coming in as the quarterback, Schwager's the starting fullback. Schwager's a junior. Hank was with us during our run, but and really got to learn from Waters and Prey. But Stillwell has experience at receiver, but yet we bring Louis Brooks in, who Louis would have helped us some a year ago had he not broken a collarbone midway through his sophomore year in a sophomore game. So we feel fairly good about those guys, but practice and games are 2 totally different things, and so we're going to have to see what they bring to the table.
And defensively, Coach, you mentioned the captains on defense, but there's a lot of kids. You mentioned the 2 starters and then 3 reserves that played a lot for the defense last year. A lot of these kids got a lot of time, not only in the limited JV schedule, but also some of the games that were one-sided. A lot of these kids that we're going to name tonight, we were talking about late last year during the regular season.
Well, we were, and hopefully, they can step up. Adam Brauk came back to the program and is a really good athlete, a Division I baseball commit who's playing free safety. We think he can certainly help us. Nante Gerke is a new face. He was actually a quarterback in his past, and now he's on the defensive side. But yet Jackson Filer, had a limited role a year ago, was kind of a role player, and now he's expected to be a significant player for us, and we think he can be, and the sky's the limit. He can be as good as he wants to be. But Owsley inside will be really important. Kriegshauser, a familiar name, but a different young man, and his brother started for us last year, and now it's Carson's turn, playing an outside backer. And so, we feel good about that. One question mark is Jalen Pettis inside. He's a sophomore, and his eyes are probably going to be wide open as we go on and play, but he's a very talented young man, and another one of those guys that I think, let's just keep coaching and give him reps and give him time, and he'll be a different player later than what he is right now.
Visit with head coach Tom Wilson here on the pregame show tonight as Dowling in their season opener hosting Waukee here at Valley Stadium. We'll take a timeout. We'll talk about tonight's matchup with the Waukee Warriors and head coach Scott Carlson when we return to the pregame show. You're listening to the pregame show here on Iowa Catholic Radio and the Central Iowa Sports Network.
Central Bank is proud to support the unmatched spirit of sportsmanship and hard work exemplified by our local athletes. We're fans of high school sports and the way the big game and hometown team rally a community. Best of luck to all of today's competitors. Play hard, have fun, and make something great happen. Central Bank, member FDIC.
Moms typically get to make a majority of the healthcare decisions for their family. That can be a lot of pressure, but not for me, because I know the choice is ours. For medical tests like MRIs, X-rays, CAT scans, and of course mammograms, ask your doctor to refer you to Iowa Radiology. They work around our hectic schedules, they're the best at what they do, and they're so great with my family. They truly care, and it shows. Visit iowaradiology.com or call to schedule an appointment. Iowa Radiology.
Continue my conversation with head coach Tom Wilson of Dowling Catholic before tonight's game between Dowling and Waukee in the opening night of the high school football season here at Valley Stadium. And Coach Wilson, we talked about the Dowling offense and defense. Let's talk about your matchup tonight with a Waukee Warrior team. Comes in currently ranked number 8, and Scott Carlson's team, a team that you took to halftime tied last year before pulling away in the second half. What do you know about this team other than the fact that they have probably one of the best quarterbacks we'll face this year in Mitch Randall, who's a 3-year starter? Talk about the Warrior offense.
They really do have a very good quarterback, and it seems like he's been there forever. Really he likes to throw the ball deep, but he's probably as big a threat with his feet. And so he's somebody that obviously we'll pay a lot of attention to. We can do that by doing a great job up front, but we've already kind of talked about our inexperience on that defensive front right now. So, they've got Odell, which is a receiver that played for him a year ago, had a touchdown against us last year. They play, some guy, Aaron Smith, will be starting the secondary, but he'll come in and add some speed. Lindquist, another running back, number 26, did a great job for him towards the middle and end of last year. So we're going to have our hands full there. We feel like that they certainly have great experience at the skill positions, offensive line-wise, probably a little bit less experience. Moved one of their starters from defense to the offensive side to help shore that up, Wiggins, and it's with the weapons that they have, it's going to be a great challenge.
And defensively for Waukee against your offense, and that's going to be the matchup. Waukee with 7 starters returning from last year's team against the Dowling offensive line that's pretty experienced in their own right. That'll be a great matchup. And led by sophomore last year and the junior defensive end Caleb Paulus and Cole Spikes with number 41 at linebacker. We know the Waukee defense is tough, and it was last year. It was 14 all at halftime, but yet you shut them down in the second half. But offensively, you picked it up in the second half, and you're going to face mostly that same defense again tonight.
It is a good defense, to be honest with you. And 95 Arndt, who is their nose guard, was a handful for us a year ago, and we expect him to be that way again. And you mentioned Paulus being back, Spikesma, their leading tackler, a really good player. Joe Morrison, just a junior, started for us as a sophomore in the secondary. Was very active a year ago, and I already mentioned Smith as a partial two-way player. So they don't lack for talent on that side, and as you mentioned, good experience.
Well, Coach, in game one, obviously both teams had, you have limited practices. You don't have all the stuff in the playbook that you want. What you use, you got to execute. It's that way for Coach Carlson. It'll be that way for you. What do you see tonight with these two teams on the opening night as far as this chess match between Waukee and Dowling?
Honestly, you've kind of alluded to it. With our offensive line against their defense, can we get Tegan Johnson some room to run? How's Hank going to play in his first start? And defensively, just how we hang in there against Mitch Randall.
Special teams, a big part of any football season, and certainly no doubt Dowling with a new punter and a kicker, and handling the kickoff duties. That's Jake Calvert, a junior who got some time last year as a sophomore, and he's going to be going against the experience of Cade Jaden of Waukee, who's an outstanding kicker, and I think he's at least a 2-year starter for them. So special teams and kickoff and punt returns, Coach, you're going to see some excitement. The one kid I can't wait to see, and I know it'll probably be Stillwell returning kicks, but Louis Brooks returned kicks last year for Dowling as a sophomore before you mentioned his injury. But that should be exciting to see how the special teams play out tonight.
It is, and to this point, we've been somewhat inconsistent, and we'll see what we look like in game situations. And as you mentioned, our really kicker, punter, snapper are all new, and so you never know until you really get into the game. You mentioned Stillwell, you mentioned Louis, both of them with experience and obviously some return ability.
All right, Coach, keys the game. What's some of the 3 items on the board for Dowling to be successful against the Waukee Warriors tonight?
Really, it's about how we do against Mitch Randall, and then can we run the football.
All right, Coach, thanks for joining us here on the pregame show. Best of luck tonight, and we'll talk to you at halftime and on the postgame show.
All right, thank you.
Head Coach Tom Wilson has been my guest here on the pregame show. This is Mark Amadale from Valley Stadium. We'll be back with more on our pregame. It's Dowling and Waukee, opening night of high school football here in 2019, here on Iowa Catholic Radio and the Central Iowa Sports Network.
You want to get stronger, faster, healthier. You want more. You want to be part of something bigger than yourself. A place for people of all ages, all walks of life, that provides opportunities for all to succeed. We do that. We're the why. Build more than muscle. Build a stronger community.
Hi, Ron here, head coach of Westside Auto Pros. When your car's on the injured reserve, you want to get it back in the game as soon as possible. I know that. That's why you need to bring it here to Westside Auto Pros. I have a team of experts that can fix almost every automotive injury, whether it's a fractured joint, a brake, or if your car just got its bell rung, no problem. We can even do a complete physical on your car to make sure it's game ready for the entire season. So bring your car to Westside Auto Pros and we'll get it back in the starting lineup in no time. Hey, you guys are dogging it back here. Let's move it, move it, move it.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the Dowling Catholic fight song.
Welcome back to Valley Stadium here in West Des Moines. We get set for week 1 of the high school football season on Iowa Catholic Radio. Mark Amadale joined by Matt Maindring and John Chido. Jeff Piggott is our studio producer, and we're joined by the cast and crew of the Central Iowa Sports Network, led by Pete Tarpey. As we simulcast tonight, I want to thank Anna, Clayton, and Nick. Nick and Clayton will be our camera operators if you're watching it on the webcast. And Anna is sitting here making sure I'm staying on track. So we appreciate all their help once again this year. And I'm joined by John Chido. Let's get our first report from the Dowling sideline. Johnny, come on in. What's it look like down on the Dowling sideline as we get the shade approaching Valley Stadium right now?
Yeah, Mark, like we talked about earlier, usually this time of year the games are up in the 80s to the 90s degrees, and it feels like September, end of September, into October weather for football. So you couldn't ask for a better environment, no wind whatsoever. So defending either north or south goal will not matter tonight.
And John, I know you've got a great look looking up into the Dowling stands, which is on the press box side, the west side of the stadium. Place is getting full, and the Waukee fans are coming on the far sideline. They're going to enjoy the sunshine here for the next half hour or so. But we got a great crowd for Waukee Dowling game 1.
Yeah, when you have preseason number 1, preseason number 8, right off the bat, and it's Dowling Waukee, which is a bit of a rivalry as well. You're going to get a crowd in a good environment like this, and you can't ask for a better environment for Friday night football with the crowd and the play that you're going to see tonight on the field.
Well, no question, John, and appreciate you being on the Dowling sideline. My colleague here in the press box got caught with his boss. I think he got in detention or something. Mr. Maindring, glad to have you back.
Well, I had to play principal for a couple
I knew
minutes.
you did. I knew something was up. So John and I.
A principal.
It didn't have anything to do with one of the Chido kids, did it?
No, they're angels.
Because one of the dads is down there on the sideline. You're good, John. You're good.
I think Dad's still recovering from delivering his daughter up to college.
Yeah, she made a cameo appearance today, and we should talk about that. A lot of transition. We got kids going off to college, but yet some of them are back here for Friday night football, even though there's games tomorrow in Iowa City and in Iowa. And John Chido, you're one of them. Your daughter, I think she wanted money, but I'll let John explain that. Is that true?
Well, my wife had a bunch of stuff to bring up to her, which started out as a couple items and ended up to a whole box of things. So she had to come back because we couldn't get up there by 7 a.m. In Ames to get her what she needed.
Yeah, well, that probably will happen to a lot of folks. Well, as we get set, guys, and I know we're going to go to our break here. Right now, Dowling taking the field. They'll be in their home maroon uniforms, white numbers, white helmets and pants, and Waukee set to make their arrival in their all white road uniforms with purple W on the top. But Matt, as we get set for kickoff here shortly, what's going through some of these players? I think about the juniors right now. This is their first varsity game, and some of those seniors, they weren't playing a whole lot this year. This is their first varsity start, and you're the coach in the locker room. You've done it many years up at Sheldon. What's going on in the field?
It's like a boiling pot, and you're just trying to keep the lid on it. It's simmering. You got kids out there right now that if you asked them what time of day it was, they wouldn't know. They don't know which way is east, west, north, or south.
Sure.
They just know they get an opportunity to strap the helmet on, put the buckle the chin strap, and play with the big D on their helmet. And this is the thing they've been, it's the thing they've been practicing for, playing for, since third, fourth grade. So it's good stuff. Yep.
And last night we had the freshman and sophomore games we mentioned earlier. Dowling winning both of those. And John Chido, as a coach, you're a modern day coach. Maindring's retired. He's up here with me, but you're a modern day coach. What's going through? What are the coaches going through their mind right now in preparation for games like this?
Moment to start, because you go through all those 2 days, all of August, late July workouts, and it's a grind. And finally, it comes about, and that butterfly feeling that you get is here, and that's what they're feeling right now, and they can't wait to get started and see what type of team they're going to have.
All right, well, we're going to take a break here, our final break before kickoff. You're listening to the pregame show here on Iowa Catholic Radio and the Central Iowa Sports Network alongside Matt Maindring. I'm Mark Amadale. Down on the field tonight with our Shield sideline reports will be John Chido. But first, we're going to have a welcome message from Dr. Dan Ryan, the president of Dowling Catholic High School, and our pregame prayer from Father Ryan Andrew coming up here on Iowa Catholic Radio. It's Waukee and Dowling from Valley Stadium. Kickoff coming up.
Schottenkirk Chevrolet Waukee will be open Labor Day 10 to 4. Chevy Labor Day sales event through September 3rd. No payments for 90 days. 0% for 72 months plus over $6,000 off Silverado double cabs. 0% for 60 months plus over $6,000 off Silverado Crew, 1LTs, and SPs. No payments for 90 days. Save in Waukee. 0 for 60 plus up to $3,000 off Equinox. No payments for 90 days. 0 for 72 plus up to $2,200 off Trax. No payments for 90 days. Open Labor Day 10 to 4. Schottenkirk Chevrolet Waukee. WaukeeChevy.com.
Here's to everyone who believes in competition and good sportsmanship, who knows it's not about the trophies or the medals, but rather the lessons learned. For those who understand, it's not whether you win or lose, just that you give your best. So go ahead, lace them up, take the field, have fun, and play. For the experience, for the memories, for the love of the game. Shields.
Stadium, West Des Moines. Mark Amadale, Matt Maindring, and John Chido as we get set for the opening night of high school football here on Iowa Catholic Radio. Our 43rd year of broadcasting Dowling football on these airways. And Matt Maindring, no, I haven't been around that long doing it. It's getting close to 40, but not quite. but it's been a tradition on this station bringing you the best of high school football, both the opponents and Dowling, and this year is no different. The Maroons, the 6-time defending champs, going for number 7 and playing a very fine opponent in the Waukee Warriors. Looking forward to it, Matt.
This is a great way to start the football season, and two very, very good football teams. One looking for that first win against Dowling, and Dowling looking to keep the tradition going. And last year the Maroons got off to a slow start in the season, and there was a lot of concerns. And I think we should see some of that again tonight. There's going to be some things that are going to be a little slow, but they're going to get going.
Back deep for Dowling is number 2, Louis Brooks, who last year suffered a collarbone injury in the sophomore season and put him on the shelf for the last 5 weeks or so. And also back there for the Maroons is number 21 for Dowling Catholic, or that's not correct. Back deep for Dowling, and let's see.
Number 2. It is Louis Brooks, and I believe it's.
Yeah, it was Tegan. Josh Jackman, but I think he got shoved. We're underway. The kickoff by.
It is Tegan Johnson back there.
And it's Tegan Johnson now over to Louis Brooks. He makes a stop at the 20, gets across the 23 up to the 24-yard line on the return. So the Maroons have their starting tailback in Tegan Johnson back there, and Louis Brooks, one of the starting receivers. So let's set the offensive starters here, as Dowling will have it 1st and 10 from their own 24, underway here in the first quarter from Valley Stadium. Dowling and Waukee. The Dowling offensive line, left tackle is Charlie Nank, number 77. Joe Ryan, the left guard, number 56. Nolan Sennett is the center, number 53. Ryan Bowles, number 72, the right guard. And Tyler Stein, the right tackle, number 75. Tight end is Andrew Lynch, number 89. He and Zach Swager, number 45. Swager will be the H-back, which means fullback or tight end. Tailbacks, Tegan Johnson. We're going to see Chase Hauschilt later in the game. And the Maroons will start with 3 receivers. The quarterback is Hank Hemrick, 5'11" senior, and he'll work out of the shotgun. And back to pass he goes on first down. He fires it out, and it's caught by the Maroons down the inside. And he gets across the 20, picks up the first down. Nice reception that time by Dowling Catholic.
Matt Stillwell on the reception there. Good block out on the edge there by Louis Brooks. And well-executed play to start the ball game for the Maroons.
Lateral pass down to the left of formation, as you mentioned, Matt Mainring, and first down, Dowling at just outside the 20-yard line. They're going to put it at the 21 for Stillwell, and now the Maroons are on a running play to the left side, and trying to get outside was the quarterback Hemrick, but he was knifed down from behind. He'll lose yardage, Matt, back to the 18.
Joe Morrison on a stunt there for the Waukee Warriors came off the edge, and they run all the way and were able to come up and bust that play up in the backfield.
So a loss on the play. As Dowling took out with a second down, a pass to the near side. Caught by Stillwell in the open field across the 35. He's got the first down out of bounds, and the clock stops the clock at the 37-yard line. A pickup of 20 yards about.
Very similar play to the first play from the line of scrimmage, just out of a different formation. The first time they had trips on the one side. This time they had twins on this side, and well executed, good run by Matt, good block by the other receiver.
19-yard reception, first down Maroons. Handoff goes to Tegan Johnson, bounces outside, puts his head down, and gets outside the hash on the right side, crosses the 40 up to the 42, and it'll bring up 2nd and 5 Dowling from their own 42.
Tegan Johnson's at his strongest when he can square those shoulders up, and once he hit outside the hash right there, he squared his shoulders up, and he's a force. Yeah, he's just going to be a lot of fun to watch this year in that backfield. And Schwager had a good block out there for him and sprung him, and things are in motion.
They certainly are. The offensive line doing a great job. At 2nd and 5 Dowling, no score. From their own 41-yard line, they'll spot him down. Hemrick back to throw, fires it out, caught by Stillwell again from the left side, and kind of nice his way across the 45 up to the 46 for a gain of 4.
A quick slant off Matt Stillwell was lined up on the outside numbers here and came across on a quick slant. Hemrick hit him in stride. A yard short of the first down, so 3rd and short, and here's where you want to get behind those 5 seniors up front and see if you can get a yard out of them.
Well, Dowling bringing in their H-back, and that's Zach Swager, number 45. Remember Levi Hummel played that spot so fluently. The Maroons go with a shotgun formation, toss play to the left side. They give it to Tegan Johnson, puts his head down to be shy of the first down. He gets up to the 45 and actually loses a yard back to the 45, and it'll bring up 4th down for the Maroons.
Yeah, we had Morrison out there again. The Waukee Warriors did a really good job of stringing that out. The Maroons chose to run that to the boundary, ran that to the short side of the field. Looks like they're keeping the offense on the field right here, Mark.
Right now they are, as 9:25 remaining first quarter. Dowling looking to the sideline. Dowling sideline right below us. Moines going for it. 4th and 2, and they'll go with a shotgun formation. Long count, and now they drew him offside. Nice job by quarterback Hank Hemrick. He drew the offsides. Connor Arndt, one of the veterans on the defensive line, jumped offside. First down, Maroons.
There's Coach Wilson in a veteran's move right there. You know, you've got these kids from Waukee that are fired up at the moment. The energy's going, 4th and short. First time of the season, we get them to jump.
Offside Waukee. First down, Dowling at midfield. Maroon keeps the drive alive. This drive started back at their own 14. Play action fake. Back to throw Stillwell, and he airs it out of bounds. And rather Hemrick looking for Stillwell, incomplete. They move Stillwell that side to the right side of the formation. He's been on the left as a receiver. And that time they moved him to the right, and that was a busted player. Actually threw it away.
Well, Hemrick did a good job. When he threw it away a long ways. That one almost went in the bleachers, which here's a toss.
So it's incomplete. Second down 10, Dowling from midfield on the pass incompletion. Now out of the shotgun. Hemrick, the handoff right side of Tegan Johnson, bursts in the secondary. He's near first down. I think he got it. They're going to spot him down inside the Waukee 40 at the 39 for a first down, Dowling.
There's a classic Dowling Catholic play right there. You get those two guards, the two guards pulling out in front of that play, and that would have been Joe Ryan and Bowles, or it might have been even Charlie Nank. They get two big linemen out in front of him, and Tegan. That's tough to stop.
Well, that right side opened up the hole. Ryan Bowles, you mentioned, Tyler Stein, the right tackle, and Nolan Sinnott, the center, opened up the hole. 1st and 10, Dowling, the 39 of Waukee. No score here in the first quarter. Quarterback draw. Hemrick puts his head down. Hank follows his offensive line, gains a couple of yards down to the Warrior 37-yard line.
That's a good, strong run for him. And Hank, you know, he carried the pile there a couple yards, got a couple extra, and then he'll learn as the more he does that play in live action, because he could have followed Zach Schwager up into the hole.
The strength of Dowling is their offensive line. The strength of Waukee is their defense. 7 starters return for the Waukee defense, and Dowling with 5 starters and 3 reserves. Back to throw. Hemrick set up the screen. Pass is caught, and inside, right around the 35-yard line, the receiver is brought down. Is that Tegan Johnson? It is on the reception.
Little screen play there, and so it looks like they got a busted play. All the Waukee guys are coming through, and Hank just flips it over the top. Waukee did a really good job. I didn't pick up which linebacker that was. He stayed home and was able to take Tegan down right away.
All right, brings up third down. 3rd and 6 for Dowling. The line of scrimmage is the Waukee 35. Opening drive of the game. No score, Dowling and Waukee. 7.5 minutes remaining. First quarter from a beautiful night here at Valley Stadium with 77 degrees at kickoff. Hemrick, long count. Here's the snap out of the shotgun. Fakes the pitch, fires downfield. The pass is overthrown, incomplete. Down the far sideline as he tried to hit, I believe, number 45, the intended receiver, Zach Schwager, the H-back.
Waukee brought pressure on that play. They brought 2 extra guys, and it was the right read by Hank, and just didn't quite get it out there. Zach didn't quite get adjusted in the air to get the ball.
Mark Amadeo, Matt Maindring with the call here on Iowa Catholic Radio. John Chido on the sideline tonight. And Matt, if Dowling went for it on 4th down and 5, or 4th down and 3 inside their 50, they're going for it now. Trips to the left for Dowling. Hemrick out of the shotgun. Hank now will step away and look to the sideline to get a secondary call. 4th and 6 for Dowling from the Waukee 35.
Yeah, we're going to call timeout. I imagine we'll see the punt team here, potentially.
All right, we'll keep it here as we bring in, number 1, our supporters of Iowa Catholic Radio this season. We want to thank Ashworth Vision Center, construction professionals, along with our friends from Dental Associates. We want to thank them for being along all season long. And this year, our Red Zone, and Dowling is knocking on the door of the Red Zone. Our Red Zone sponsor is Bozen the Florist. Say more with Bozen, 515-244-ROSE. That's 515-244-ROSE. Let's take a break and go down on the sideline, and that is where John Chido is at for Dowling in our Shields sideline report. Johnny, take it away.
Schottenkirk Chevrolet Waukee will be open Labor Day Tonight, 10 to 4. Chevy Labor Day sales event through September 3rd. No payments for 90 days. 0% for 72 months plus over $6,000 off Silverado double cabs. 0% for 60 months plus over $6,000 off Silverado Crew, 1LTs, and SPs. No payments for 90 days. Save in Waukee. 0 for 60 plus up to $3,000 off Equinox.
Standing back near midfield is the Dowling's Hunter Jake Calvert, 6-foot junior, wearing number 18. The long snapper is Russell Pearson for Dowling, number 67, a junior. It's the Dowling's first punt of the season. Here's a snap, good snap, and the punt's away by the left-footed Calvert. And bounces inside the 15, takes a roll into the end zone, touchback, as there'll be no return by the Waukee punt returner Joe Morrison. So with 7:05 remaining, first quarter, no score, Dowling and Waukee. And Matt, we've already saw strike one. The Waukee defense holds. They didn't hold on the first fourth down, but they forced a punt on the second fourth down by the Dowling offense.
Yeah, they're bringing a lot of pressure early, Waukee, throwing a lot of extra guys at the line of scrimmage and making Hank make reads. You know, you have a quarterback in his first start, and they're going to make him work in this first quarter.
Dowling goes 12 plays and has to punt. Now Waukee with the first down, their own 20. Back to throw is their quarterback. He fires it out. Caught. Mitch Randall's pass is caught on the far sideline for the completion. That is
Sam Odell.
Odell, who's back, number 16. And that's a first down for Waukee right off the get-go.
It wasn't a good pass. That was a great catch. Odell adjusted in the air and made the grab, and Waukee's going to get right back up to the line of scrimmage and go again.
16-yard gain up to the 36, and now the inside handoff and running for a first down and more, and that's the tailback, Alex Lindquist. He's finally brought down in Dowling territory at the Maroon 47-yard line, but back-to-back first downs on 2 plays from the Waukee offense.
This is going to be the challenge for that defensive front. Not a lot of size. You know, we got some, Theo Davis and so inside, and keep them off those linebackers so they can run.
Line of scrimmage, the Dowling 47, 1st and 10 Waukee. And now inside handoff again goes to Lindquist, and he bounces outside. He's got another first down. He gets loose down the far sideline, and he's knocked out of bounds, and now a penalty on Dowling for a late hit.
Yep.
So he goes out of bounds at the 25, Matt, and add half the distance to the goal. It'll be first down Waukee inside the Dowling 20.
Yeah, they found a place off tackle right there, got a lead block, and were able to get to the first backer, and Chris Housley had to come all the way across the field, and Lindquist is running hard. Waukee's playing with a mission right now and really coming out and setting the tone of the football game right now.
Well, Lindquist, a gain of 17 yards, and that one was 23 yards. Run out of bounds at the 25, a late hit penalty on Dowling, and it's first down Waukee, and they're going to spot the ball inside the 15-yard line to the 12, it looks like. 1st and 10, the Waukee Warriors, they're marching down. This will be the 4th play of their drive. And now out of the shotgun, back to throw is Randall. Fires in the end zone. The ball is nearly picked off but incomplete, as Dowling was right there and nearly had the pickoff. Adam Brauch, the safety, nearly got it. That's a young man that played shortstop on the state tournament baseball team, and Adam nearly had himself a pick.
He really did, and wasn't out for football last year. So this is his first game in
Correct.
A while, and just a case of a really good athlete coming back and trying to contribute right away right there. It makes a heck of a play.
All right, 2nd down and 10 for Waukee on the Dowling 12. The Warriors can get a first down at the 2. Randall at quarterback, the right-hander, 6'1", 197, and a senior for Waukee. Here's the snap. Randall's going to run it. Tucks it under his belly and runs down to about the 13-yard line, so he'll lose a yard, and he'll bring up 3rd down and about 11 for a Waukee here, Matt.
Yeah, good play by Chris Housley on the read right there and had the quarterback all the way, and then Carson Kriegshauser also came up on that and got a good stop and put Waukee into a 3rd and long situation, kind of get the defense settled down right now and make Waukee make a play.
All right, Lindquist in the backfield, and he'll work to the right side of quarterback Mitch Randall, who works out of the shotgun. A receiver on each side of the formation. The tight end is Eddie Sadat. Back to throw is Randall. Fires it near side. Caught by Lindquist. It'll be shy of the first down. He gets out of bounds. They say he stayed in bounds at the 10-yard line. 3-yard gain, and I think we'll see the field goal unit come in for Waukee as they'll rely on the foot of their outstanding kicker in this drive apparently here, Matt, and that is Cade Jaden.
Yeah, first play there made by Deontay Gerke, a kid who's new to the program this year and whose sister was here all 4 years, and he came in to join the fold last year, and so good play by him.
All right, 27-yard field goal is up, and it is good by Cade Jaden. The hold from Colin Evers and the snap by Bo Schaller. So with 5:11 remaining first quarter, it's Waukee striking first. They lead Dowling Catholic 3-0. Back to Valley Stadium after this 1-minute break on Iowa Catholic Radio and the Central Iowa Sports Network.
Schottenkirk Chevrolet Waukee will be open Labor Day 10 to 4. Chevy Labor Day sales event through September 3rd. No payments for 90 days. 0% for 72 months plus over $6,000 off Silverado double cabs. 0% for 60 months plus over $6,000 off Silverado Crew, 1LTs, and SPs. No payments for 90 days. Save in Waukee. 0 for 60 plus up to $3,000 off Equinox. No payments for 90 days. 0 for 72 plus up to $2,200 off Trax. No payments for 90 days. Open Labor Day 10 to 4. Schottenkirk Chevrolet Waukee. WaukeeChevy.com.
Every month or so, there's another story in the media about when and how often we need to get our mammograms. Kind of confusing. When this happens, I like to consult with experts. So I called Iowa Radiology. They recommend women get an annual mammogram starting at age 40. They know that it's the best way to detect cancers early and save lives. And that's good enough for me. Visit iowaradiology.com or call to schedule your mammogram. Iowa Radiology, our focus is your good health.
And we're back here at Valley Stadium, Valley and Waukee tonight here on Iowa Catholic Radio. Mark Hamadale alongside Matt Mainring, John Chido. Here's a kickoff, and it is fielded by Dowling. And on the return for the Maroons, that's Louis Brooks, crosses the 20, and he's finally brought down right about the 26-yard line. That's where Dowling will start 1st and 10 after Waukee takes the ball in and settles for a field goal as they got as far as the 10-yard line. Let's go down to our sideline reporter, and that's our Shields sideline reporter tonight, and that's John Chido. John,
well, that was
an update. Go ahead.
That was a nice defensive stand there in the red zone by Dowling Catholic to only allow Waukee to put up 3 points. Adam Brock made a nice play, saved a touchdown by not peeking in the backfield and stayed home to make a good defensive play.
Yeah, and Matt, John's exactly right. The Maroons kind of bent but didn't break. You know, they gave up the first 3 carries for Waukee were first downs.
Yeah, they really had us on our heels down there with the penalty on top of it, deep into the red zone, and we were able to get a 4 and out, and that's a big deal. To only give up 3 points there is a good thing.
So Dowling now guilty of a penalty on the offensive side, and Maroons are guilty of a 5-yard procedure call. That'll back them up to the 21-yard line, so it'll be 1st and 15 for Dowling Catholic on that last drive by Waukee. They had their first 3 plays were all first downs, and they settled for the 27-yard field goal. So they go 80 of the 90 yards they needed for the touchdown on an 80-yard drive, but fell short. So it's 1st and 15, Dowling read option. Hemrick, he's going to keep the football, and he couldn't bounce it outside, and he gets across maybe up to the 25, 24-yard line. Let's see what the referee's giving forward progress to the 25 for a gain of 4.
Really good play by Joe Morrison there on defense for Waukee, because that play looked like it was going to pop, and he came through and knifed it down, got in his alley, and made a play there for the Warriors.
4-yard gain for Hemrick after the penalty on first down. Dowling. It's 3-0. Waukee leads Dowling. 4.5 minutes remaining first quarter. Dowling going right to left, defending the south end zone. The field is in the shade on a 77-degree night here at an opening night of the high school football season. Henrik out of the shotgun, looks to throw, fires out, caught by Louis Brooks, and slips a tackle across the 35, and he's up near a first down. They're going to give him the first down up to the 37-yard line. So that's a nice little hitch that time. And 2 relatively new players, Louis Brooks at receiver and Hank Hemrick, the new quarterback for Dowling.
The timing on that was really, really good. As you stated, Mark, from 2 guys that haven't been out there on the varsity playing field together. Nice timing, good first down for the Maroons. 13-yard gain. They'll give him credit up to the 38-yard line. Back to throw on play action is Hemrick. He's going to be wrestled down in the backfield. Hank is hit and dropped. Nice job by the Waukee defense, and you see big number 66 in there. That's one of the returning starters, Caleb Paulus, and he used to be a part of the Dowling Catholic program at one time before he went out to Waukee, so he's got a little juice in him tonight, and he made this a sack. Yeah, the defensive front right there just didn't give Hemrick much time to make a play there, and they give credit where credit's due. The defensive front for Waukee made a play. 4-yard sack on the play by Paulus.
And it'll bring up 2nd down and 14 for the Maroons. They don't huddle, Dowling. They just look to the sideline and get their play. Line call has theirs. Receivers and backs have theirs. 3 receivers to the left. Back to throw. No, fake. Handoff goes to Tegan Johnson. He's off to the races. Down the far sideline. He goes inside the 30. Ups and tackle 10. 5. And he stay in bounds. Touchdown, Tegan Johnson. How about that? 66 yards. And Dowling has struck first with the touchdown tonight, and the Maroons lead it 6-3 over Waukee, Matt.
Waukee got caught in a stun up front. They were crisscrossing the interior tackles and looping, and they looped out of the play. Linebacker got picked off and created an alley for Tegan Johnson, and Tegan Johnson's fast.
Is he fast?
He is.
I would
fast.
say so. And
Holy smokes!
That touchdown was a sponsored touchdown tonight. I want to thank the Gutierrez family, Carol Gutierrez, Iowa Catholic Radio Carathon, and she gets credit and her family for that Dowling touchdown by Tegan Johnson to 66 yards. Calvert's extra point up, good. Dowling 7 and Waukee 3 with 3:07 remaining first quarter. We'll take a break and come back. You're listening to Dowling Catholic Football here on the Iowa Catholic and the Central Iowa Sports Network.
Schottenkirk Chevrolet Waukee will be open Labor Day 10 to 4. Chevy Labor Day sales event through September 3rd. No payments for 90 days. 0% for 72 months plus over $6,000 off Silverado double cabs. 0% for 60 months plus over $6,000 off Silverado Crew, 1LTs, and SPs. No payments for 90 days. Save in Waukee. 0 for 60 plus up to $3,000 off Equinox. No payments for 90 days. 0 for 72 plus up to $2,200 off Trax. No payments for 90 days. Open Labor Day 10 to 4. Schottenkirk Chevrolet Waukee. WaukeeChevy.com.
You want to get stronger, faster, healthier. You want more. You want to be part of something bigger than yourself. A place for people of all ages, all walks of life, that provides opportunities for all to succeed. We do that. We're the why. Build more than muscle. Build a stronger community.
Leading 7-3 over Waukee. The Maroons kick off right to left, and Waukee will field the ball and at the 20-yard line on a short kick, and return by one of the upbacks for Waukee gets it to the 27-yard line before he's brought down there, and the Waukee Warriors will have it 1st and 10 from their own 27. That is Jack Ibis on the return for Waukee. Let's go down to the Dowling sideline. That is where John Chido is at. And how about that scoring drive for Dowling and get the Maroon offense going, John?
That was impressive, and it was set up by Hank Hemrick in his fake. I mean, the timing of putting the ball in the belly and letting it go to the running back, Tegan Johnson, was excellent. And that's what set up that whole play, because the defensive line bit that Hank was going to keep the ball and allow Tegan to go for the touchdown.
Yeah, Dowling going 4 plays and 79 yards. Keep in mind that first play of that drive was a penalty that set him back some more, but the Maroons with the lead, and now Waukee with the football. And the Warriors now with the first down play. They ran left, and they may have gotten a couple yards with Lindquist. See what adjuststs are done here, Matt, for Dowling's defense.
One thing that surprised me is Waukee got down the field is they got away from the run a little bit, and that's where they were really having their way with us there in that first series.
All right, 2nd down and 9 from the 29 for Waukee as they started right on their own 28. Read option. They give this to Lindquist, and he's got trouble in the backfield. Escapes one tackle, now reverses field and goes the other way. And is finally brought down back at the 26-yard line. He'll lose 3 yards as the Maroon jerseys have figured out a way to keep Lindquist from breaking a hole.
Yeah, Filer makes a really good play there in the backfield, but can't bring him down. Lindquist is a strong running back. He's a really strong running back, and fortunately, 11 guys with the football, everyone else there came, and as he tried to change directions, we got to stop.
So it's 3rd and long for Waukee, 3rd and 12 from their own 26. And a quarterback hands it off to Lindquist on a draw play, and he's hit and stood up at the line of scrimmage and dropped by Chase Patton, one of those 2 sophomores that play in that defensive line. And I'll tell you what, he'd be one of those offensive linemen for Waukee, and Chase gets the sack in the backfield for Dowling.
That's a defensive lineman's dream right there. Jace Patton doesn't get blocked, and they're running a draw play, and he runs right into Lindquist, and it's a I don't want to say an easy play, but it's a high percentage play for Patton right there.
A 1-yard loss for Waukee, 4th and 13 for the Warriors. Back on their own 25-yard line, back deep for Dowling is Louis Brooks to return on the return, the punt return, awaiting the snap, and the punt by Waukee, and it's a high end-over-end kick. Brooks fields it at his own 37. Return is right, and check that. It's not Louis Brooks. It's Matt Stillwell back there, and Stillwell is hit and dropped right about the 44-yard line. They'll spot it, so that's where the Dowling offense will take over. 1st and 10 from their own 44-yard line. 57 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. Dowling 7, Waukee 3. Let's go down to our Shields sideline reporter, and that is John Chido. John, take it away.
Well, that's a great defensive stop, especially coming off a big score. And I love hearing Chase Patton's name being a sophomore in his first varsity spot and making good plays like he just did.
I remember where he got his start. 8th grade, your first year as an 8th grade coach, right?
Chase has been with me since he started with us in 5th grade, I think.
Well, he got some pretty good teaching along the way. And,
I think he's got good right now. I don't know about me.
Hand off on first down. Tegan Johnson breaks a tackle, and he gets into the Waukee secondary from his own 44-yard line. Johnson carries into Waukee territory, and he's near a first down. They're going to spot him down just shy of that, about the 48 of Waukee. Good, straight up the gut for Waukee, or for Dowling against the Waukee defense there, Matt.
This is where Tegan Johnson is at his best, is when he can keep his shoulders squared to the line of scrimmage, and he's got quick speed to the line and makes plays.
8-yard run, and 2nd and 2, and now a little read option, handoff to Tegan Johnson. He's stacked up right at the line of scrimmage, so no gain. He may have lost a half a yard or so we'll bring up 2nd down for Dowling. 2nd and 2 for the Maroons. Make that 3rd and 2, at the 49-yard line of Waukee. A loss of 1, actually.
Cale Thorson for the Warriors at the bottom of that pile and stopped Tegan up, and looks like we're going to run to the end of the quarter.
And that'll take us to the end of the quarter. You're correct, Matt Maindring. With the score, Dowling leading Waukee 7-3. The number 1 Dowling, the 6-time defending champs, leading at the end of the first quarter here at Valley Stadium. We'll be back with the second quarter here on Iowa Catholic Radio and the Central Iowa Sports Network.
Hi, Ron here, head coach of West Side Auto Pros. When your car's on the injured reserve, you want to get it back in the game as soon as possible. I know that. That's why you need to bring it here to West Side Auto Pros. I have a team of experts that can fix almost every automotive injury, whether it's a fractured joint, a brake, or if your car just got its bell rung, no problem. We can even do a complete physical on your car to make sure it's game ready for the entire season. So bring your car to West Side Auto Pros and we'll get it back in the starting lineup in no time. Hey, you guys are dogging it back here. Let's move it, move it, move it.
Every month or so, there's another story in the media about when and how often we need to get our mammograms. Kind of confusing. When this happens, I like to consult with experts. So I called Iowa Radiology. They recommend women get an annual mammogram starting at age 40. They know that it's the best way to detect cancers early and save lives. And that's good enough for me. Visit iowaradiology.com or call to schedule your mammogram. Iowa Radiology, our focus is your good health.
Penalty and then punt. Or they called timeout before the penalty. No, they did. They did take the penalty.
So penalty on the Maroons, and that'll bring in the punting unit for Dowling Catholic. So as we start the second quarter, we had 2 scores in that first quarter. If you joined us late for Waukee, they get on the board first as Cade Jaden with a 27-yard field goal gave Waukee a 3-0 lead at the 5:11 mark, and then Dowling comes back and they go 4 plays, 79 yards, capped off by a Tegan Johnson 66-yard run. Extra point by Calvert was good, and it's 7-3 our score. Dowling with the lead, and the Maroons now forced to punt. Jake Calvert to come in. Stands back at his own 30. Good snap, and now penalty flag's down. And they're going to have to redo this. That's usually a procedure call of some sorts, and it is against Dowling. So Waukee will not have an opportunity to return the punt, and that is Joe Morrison back there, who plays a pretty good defense. You've called his name a few times tonight defensively, but he's also the punt returner for the Warriors.
Yeah, he's done a good job for him defensively. You know, one of the things that Waukee's been doing a lot of, as we said earlier, they're doing a lot of stunning and blitzing up front and gambling. And when you gamble like that, you're going to make a lot of stops like they did in that last series, but you're also susceptible to the big play.
So penalty on the Maroons. They'll move him back to the 39-yard line, and it's high end-over-end kick and fielded by Morrison just outside the 20-yard line, and we'll spot it down there, and that's where Waukee's offense will take over. 1st and 10 from right about their own 23-yard line with 11 minutes remaining here in the second quarter. Dowling 7, Waukee 3 here on Iowa Catholic Radio. And we've got to mention the extra point by Dowling was good by Jake Calvert, and it's sponsored by Tomia & Sons. We want to thank them for being on board all season long. 1501 Southeast 1st Street, TomiaandSons.com. 1st and 10, Waukee, as they start from their own 23-yard line as we're straight up 11 minutes remaining. Second quarter. Back to throw is downfield, and the pass overthrown as Mitch Randall aired it out and tried to hit his intended receiver that time. Jalen Martinez got behind the Dowling secondary, but overthrown at the 30-yard line of Dowling. Wow, that was quite a ball there.
That was a nice ball, and he outthrew his receiver on that one. He got behind the secondary on that, and Mitch just overthrew him a little bit there.
So bring up 2nd and 10, Waukee from their own 23-yard line. Randall at quarterback pulls the ball out on the read option, fires a quick slant from the left side, and it's caught by his receiver that time, Sam Odell, up across the 25 to the 28-yard line. We'll bring up 3rd down, and now we've got time called because there's a penalty flag right around where the linebackers were, and the officials huddling up here, Matt.
I'm not sure what's going on here. Owen Schultz on the stop there for the Maroons. Got a lot of playing. We got a lot of playing time. Offsetting.
So he must have had an extracurricular contact during the play, and it's offsetting penalties. So I think they're going to replay the down, or was it a dead ball foul? We'll see.
Should be replaying the down. Is it 3rd down? Is that
third down?
3rd and 4, yeah.
So line of scrimmage is the 28-yard line. They'll replay this 3rd and 5 for Waukee. They go right to left, south to north here at Valley Stadium. Waukee in their visiting white uniforms, purple helmets, and numbers. Dowling in their home maroon jerseys with white pants and white helmets. Back to throw is Randall. Rolls to his right on the run. Fires the ball downfield. Got a man open. Caught at the 40-yard line. 1st down, Waukee. A nice reception that time by his receiver, Jalen Martinez, who was overthrown on that 1st down play there, Matt.
Yeah, that's 2 seniors hooking up right there. And Mitch Randall stood in the pocket and took a heck of a lick from Jason Filer and threw a nice ball out there to Martinez, and it's a nice pitch and catch for the Maroons, or for the Warriors.
Yeah, Jackson Filer putting pressure there. So it's 1st and 10, Waukee on their own 40, 3 receivers left. Randall wants to run right, follows his flanker, and he runs out of bounds. He got the 1st down near midfield. Nope, they're going to spot him down just shy of the 1st down marker at his own 49-yard line. Pick up a 9 for the scrambling Mitch Randall, who last year, Matt, ran for just over 1,000 yards and 9 touchdowns, and threw for just over 2,000 yards and 22 touchdowns, but threw 6 interceptions on the year, threw 2 in the Dowling Waukee game. So that's the type of quarterback you're dealing with, and he found a way to get it done there.
Real good athlete, real good player.
All right, 2nd and 1, Waukee. Randall on the give, and that is to his tailback, Alex Lindquist, a 6-foot junior, and he gets the 1st down. Dies in the Dowling territory at the Maroon 47 for a pickup of 4.
You know, it's straight give, and when it's weight on weight up front, Waukee has a little bit of an advantage against our lack of weight in that defensive line, and so they were able to get the push there, and Lindquist able to get the easy 1st down.
1st and 10, Waukee. The ball on the Dowling 46-yard line. They'll spot it. Randall on the play action, rolls to his right, being chased, fires as he falls down. He completes the pass. It's complete at the 34-yard line of Dowling. Just a quick out. Good defense that time by the Maroons as the Maroons are right there on defense, and he found some strength, Matt, to complete the ball. Well, they're going to spot him down at the 33 of Dowling.
He had Jackson Filer at his feet too, dragging him down, and Randall made a nice throw. It's a strong arm he's got. Get out there and found Martinez on the out.
So it's 1st and 10 Waukee from the Dowling 33. On play action. Back to throw goes Randall, fires in the end zone. He overthrew his man, incomplete. He had one-on-one coverage and overthrew him for the second time tonight. He overthrew Martinez earlier, and I think that time was for Martinez again.
Yeah, Mitch going to throw that ball right there, and I think he's going to look at that on Monday and said, I should have kept that and ran because once he got outside the edge here, he did a really good job of scrambling, get outside the numbers, and there was no one between him and the 10-yard line, and he chose to throw it and just overthrew his receiver.
All right, that'll bring up 2nd and 10, Waukee. And here Randall, he wants to keep the football, slips a couple tackles, spins out of one, and spins up to the 30-yard line. And that'll bring up 3rd down and about 5 for the Warriors. Nice job by Randall. He is not going to be taken down lightly, showing his strength in his senior year, the 3-year starter for Waukee. And he went from a negative yardage to just getting back over the line of scrimmage there, Matt, and then some, down to the 29.
There you see the veteran running, and our guys with the lack of experience not being able to bring him down. We had a couple guys on his ankles, but no one could bring him down. He gets 5 yards out of it.
All right, 3rd and 6 Waukee. Randall out of the shotgun. Back to throw he goes. He's hit as he throws, and it's up in the air. It's a pop fly, and it is incomplete. 2 white shirts for Waukee, and the lone maroon there was Carson Boyle, and it falls down incomplete. It'll bring up 4th down for Waukee from the 29 of Dowling. Let's see if Waukee is this field goal range, punting range, or 4-down territory.
We're going to keep the offense out there. Jackson Filer has been a step late about 4 times in a row, and right there he got a hand on the arm and created the pop fly.
That play reminded me of the final play of the 4A championship game when Jackson got to the Cedar Falls quarterback, and now we've got a timeout on the field. We'll take a 1-minute break and be back. The score, Dowling 7, Waukee 3, 8:42 remaining first quarter. Back in 1 minute on Iowa Catholic Radio.
Central Bank is proud to support the unmatched spirit of sportsmanship and hard work exemplified by our local athletes. We're fans of high school sports and the way the big game and hometown team rally a community. Best of luck to all of today's competitors. Play hard, have fun, and make something great happen. Central Bank, member FDIC.
Every month or so, there's another story in the media about when and how often we need to get our mammograms. It's kind of confusing. When this happens, I like to consult with experts. So I called Iowa Radiology. They recommend women get an annual mammogram starting at age 40. They know that it's the best way to detect cancers early and save lives. And that's good enough for me. Visit iowaradiology.com or call to schedule your mammogram. Iowa Radiology, our focus is your good health.
And we're back here at Valley Stadium. Waukee and Dowling, game 1 of the high school football season on Iowa Catholic Radio. Mark Amadeo alongside Matt Maindring and John Chido on the Dowling sideline. Waukee taking a timeout, so both teams have 2 timeouts at their disposal here for the remainder of the second quarter. 8:42 remaining. 4th and 6 Waukee. The line of scrimmage is the Dowling 29. Mitch Randall at quarterback. 3 receivers right. Now he puts one of them in motion right to left. Randall on the snap. Fires the fade right into the end zone for the receiver that went in motion, Odell, and he threw it out of bounds. Incomplete. The Dowling defense, that young Dowling defense, holds right here, and the Maroons will take over on downs from the Warrior 29, Matt.
Yeah, Coach Bossum brought a little pressure there from the defense and got in on Randall again, and he wasn't able to get his feet set and get a clear throw down into the end zone because Odell had our guy beat deep. And but the pressure on the quarterback made him make a poor throw.
All right, before this play, let's go down to John Chido in our Shields sideline report. Johnny, give us an update.
Yeah, it's like a heavyweight fight. It's back and forth, and it's great football to watch. I know it's not a lot of scoring, but it's nice to watch, and our defense line held strong there and played gap responsibility.
And now Dowling on first down. They air it out. Hemrick's pass is incomplete. He tried to hit Matt Stillwell, At about the 35 of Waukee, it goes out of bounds, and so does Stillwell. Bring up 2nd and 10 Maroons from their own 29. Our score, it's Dowling 7, Waukee 3. And all the scoring thus far, Matt Maindring, has been done in the first quarter.
Yeah, you get the two defensive here trading punches, and a good play there by Aaron Smith for the Waukee Warriors out there on Matt Stillwell. 2 number 5s going at it.
That's right.
And nice throw by Hank Hemrick, and Matt got himself positioned, but Aaron made a nice play there for the Warriors.
All right, Stillwell split out wide to the left of the formation. Louis Brooks, slot left, back to throw is Hemrick, fires out, caught by Louis Brooks, nice completion that time, and he drags tacklers, and I think he'll be just shy of the first down at the 39-yard line.
Louis showed some leg strength right there.
Did.
The defender got on him, and then he was able to churn out a couple more yards and makes it a 3rd and 1, which could have been about a 3rd and 4.
So Louis is spotted out of bounds right at the 39-yard line, as we mentioned.
And this is where you'd like to see that senior line. You get those, all those seniors up front. Let's see if they can get done toe-to-toe with Waukee right here.
3rd and 1 Maroons. They'll go to the pistol formation. Hank Hemrick at quarterback gets a snap, and he reads option. Now he rolls to his right. He's got the first down and more. Cuts inside the 50, still on his feet. Down the far sideline goes Hank Hemrick, and he's finally driven down at the 35-yard line of Waukee. Hank Hemrick, read option, and he just rode his way through, got to the secondary at midfield right on the Valley Tiger emblem, and then hit the left sideline, down the far sideline across from us, and picks up the first down. That's a good run by the young man.
Really good run by Hank, and made some plays there. And he made space where there wasn't any space, cut it back across the grain. That was an outstanding run.
31-yard run for Hank Hemrick unofficially. First down Dowling at the 35 of Waukee. Maroons lead it 7-3. Here's a handoff. Tegan Johnson, he runs right side. Found a hole inside the 30. Down the near sideline 20. Inside the 10. And finally brought down from behind at the 7-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal Dowling at the Waukee 7 as we approach the 8-minute mark of the second quarter.
Tegan Johnson got to the edge, and once he gets out there, that speed of his, he was moving down the sideline, got a good block from the receiver out there. I believe it might have been Louis Brooks, and kept things churning.
All right, first down and goal Dowling, and they give it on the ground. That's Tegan Johnson, puts his head down, and he goes down just about the 3-yard line. So he goes from the 7-yard line down to the 3 to bring up 2nd and goal Dowling at the Waukee 3. And the Maroons right now are in the Bozen red zone. Say more with Bozen, 515-244-ROSE, as Bozen is our red zone sponsor. Dowling now with a 2nd and goal from the 3-yard line as Tegan picks up 4 yards. Hemrick out of the shotgun will keep the football, follows big tackle into the end zone, touchdown! He followed his big old right tackle into the end zone that time, Tyler Stein, and Dowling now up on Waukee by 2 scores, leading 13-3 with 7:24 remaining in the second quarter, pending the extra point.
That's something we, and Dowling, for all the things that we've been able to do, the Maroons have been able to do over the last few years, the running quarterback threat has not quite been there quite as often. Hemrick is showing some speed right here. I've heard a lot about his arm and his accuracy and things like that. He's showing it with his legs right now.
All right, Calvert in for the extra point. That's Jake Calvert, and the hold by Stillwell. The extra point is up, and the Toomey and Sons extra point is good. So with 7:24 remaining, second quarter, Dowling 14, Waukee 3, and you're listening to Dowling Catholic Football for the 43rd consecutive year here on Iowa Catholic Radio and the Central Iowa Sports Network.
Moms typically get to make a majority of the healthcare decisions for their family. That can be a lot of pressure, but not for me, because I know the choice is ours. For medical tests like MRIs, X-rays, CAT scans, and of course mammograms, ask your doctor to refer you to Iowa Radiology. They work around our hectic schedules, they're the best at what they do, and they're so great with my family. They truly care, and it shows. Visit iowaradiology.com or call to schedule an appointment. Iowa Radiology.
Here's to everyone who believes in competition and good sportsmanship, who knows it's not about the trophies or the medals, but rather the lessons learned. For those who understand, it's not whether you win or lose, just that you give your best. So go ahead, lace them up, take the field, have fun, and play. For the experience, for the memories, for the love of the game, Shields.
And welcome back to the Valley Stadium here in West Des Moines. Mark Hemmedale alongside Matt Maindring here in the broadcast booth. Up high in the press box, John Chido is on the Dowling sideline. Dowling leading 14-3. The kickoff by Calvert for Dowling goes out of bounds. And it'll be first down Waukee from their own 35. Let's go down to our Shields sideline reporter. That is John Chido tonight. And Johnny, give us an update as Dowling goes 6 plays, 70 yards, capped off by quarterback Hank Hemrich's 3-yard touchdown run.
Yeah, that was all set up by Tegan Johnson's nice run, outside zone play, a little stretch play, and got to the boundary and cut up down to the 6-yard line. And Hank made a nice cutback to get in the end zone there for the touchdown.
He certainly did. And the Tumia and Sons extra point good. And now Waukee first and 10 from their own 35-yard line after the penalty against Dowling. And the Warriors now put the ball on the ground and no gain on that play. Bring up 2nd and 10 as the Dowling defense knifing in there, Mr. Maynard.
Yeah, Christian Owsley coming from his linebacker position, knifed in there, was able to get Lindquist around the ankles and slow him up to the line of scrimmage, and the rest of his team came in to help him. Good play by Christian.
So bring up 2nd down 10, Waukee from their own 35-yard line. Now back to throw on play action is Mitch Randall. Fires the ball downfield. Caught. That's Lindquist out of the backfield. They did not have him accounted for, and he's going to go in for a 70-yard touchdown. Check that 65-yard touchdown. Court pass from Mitch Randall to the tailback, Lindquist. Alex Lindquist on the reception. Senior to junior, and Waukee with their first touchdown of the night.
Assignment football, and you're right in what you said, Mark. No one accounted for the running back on that one right there, and a lost assignment, and he runs free. No one's got him, and it's an easy pitch and catch, and good play there by Waukee. Good play call for them.
All right, the Warriors now for the extra point. Score 14-9. Dowling leading Waukee with 6:40 remaining here in the second quarter as Cade Jaden in for the extra point. The hold by Jacob Holcomb, the extra point up and good for Waukee. So we've still got a ball game. 14-10 is our score. Dowling with the lead over Waukee. And we'll be back after this 1-minute break here on Iowa Catholic Radio and the Central Iowa Sports Network.
You want to get stronger, faster, healthier. You want more. You want to be part of something bigger than yourself. A place for people of all ages, all walks of life, that provides opportunities for all to succeed. We do that. We're the why. Build more than muscle. Build a stronger community.
Every month or so, there's another story in the media about when and how often we need to get our mammograms. Kind of confusing. When this happens, I like to consult with experts. So I called Iowa Radiology. They recommend women get an annual mammogram starting at age 40. They know that it's the best way to detect cancers early and save lives. And that's good enough for me. Visit iowaradiology.com or call to schedule your mammogram. Iowa Radiology, our focus is your good health.
Hey, we're back here at Valley Stadium. Waukee and Dowling hooking up in a top 10 matchup. Dowling leads 14-10. Waukee with the kickoff, and Kate Jaden kicks it into the end zone. There'll be no return by Dowling's Louis Brooks, and it'll be 1st and 10 Maroons from their own 20-yard line. Waukee, 2 plays, 65 yards, capped off by Lundquist with his reception from quarterback Mitch Randall for the score, and it's 14-10, Dowling with the lead. And back down to the Shields sideline, and that is where John Chido is at tonight. John, 2 big hits that time, or big pass that play on 2nd down by Waukee.
Yeah, Dowling got caught peeking in the backfield, reading run, and unaccounted for the wingback out of the backfield and right down the seam for a touchdown.
Right on 1st down, as Hank Hemrich back to throw, and he throws behind the intended receiver that time for Dowling, and that was Matt Stillwell. Pass incomplete. It'll be 2nd down and 10 for the Maroons at the 20-yard line of Dowling. Matt?
We got little Tyler Stein is blocking a kid 20-some yards downfield after the play right there, and you know it's the first game of the year. Everybody's getting the kinks out, and kind of fun. You know, this game's been about 2 big plays right now, and then 1 drive for Dowling where they got in and got a touchdown, and the other one where Waukee, we held them to, the Maroons held them to a field goal. Difference in the ball game right now.
Well, luckily for both, they were not flagged for it. You don't want to see that on the opening night. Back to throw. Now quarterback draw. Hemrick keeps it, and he's hitting the face mask, and he'll have, well, we got 3 or 4 flags coming down. Hemrick gets up to about the 23, 24-yard line, and he's brought down via his face mask, and Hank gets up. He's all right, and this will be a penalty, as you know, Matt, against Waukee for face mask.
Correct. I'm going to show my age a little bit. I don't know, do we have incidental anymore? I think it's a 15-yarder.
It's automatic 15 in high school.
Yeah.
College, they have the incidental, and they'll tack it on from the 24-yard line, so Hemrick gains 4, and then they'll tack on 15 more. First down Dowling, and they keep marking it off across the 35. The umpire stops at the 39-yard line. That's where Dowling will have it. 1st and 10 from their own 39 on the face mask penalty by Waukee.
We're starting to see both teams get into a rhythm now and really start to play football, get the kinks out of that first couple series.
Yeah, settling in, and now quick throw by Hemrick to the left side of the formation. It's caught for a quick gain by Dowling, and that's somebody new for the Maroons that hasn't caught one.
Josh Jackman.
And
Josh Jackman with the catch there from Hemrick.
Yeah, Jackman is number 80, a senior, 5'11 senior, and you mentioned number 80. First catch for him tonight by Jackman. They'll bring up 2nd down and 3 for the Maroons. Line of scrimmage is their own 46-yard line. Hemrick on play action, fires down the left side looking for Stillwell. He throws it over his head, incomplete, out of bounds. Along the far sideline, and they're really looking for Stillwell. He started out the game on the left side, and he went to the right side, but this is all going left for the Maroons.
I don't know if it's a matchup thing that the coaching staff has seen, but they're really trying to get Stillwell isolated out there in a one-on-one. And as you said, I think we've run that play about 3-4 times out of some different sets, trying to isolate Matt Stillwell on the Waukee defender.
All right, 3rd and 3 for Dowling. The line of scrimmage is their own 46-yard line. 5:44 remaining, second quarter. Dowling leads 14-10, and now quarterback Hemrick on the option play touched it upfield. He may have lost the football, and he did. Fumble recovered by Waukee, and that's a tough break for the Maroons. Dowling got the first down, but Hemrick coughed up the football, and number 95 for Waukee, Connor Arndt, with the fumble recovery.
How often do you see that where a kid's trying to get that last extra yard out of a play? He got the first down and was out there grinding, trying to get another one, and Waukee laid a nice hit on him, and the ball popped out.
Recovered right at midfield, so Hank got the first down at midfield, but the fumble recovery by Arndt, and it'll be Waukee football at midfield. So 5:37 remaining, Waukee with the first down, and play action. Fake by Waukee's Mitch Randall. Fires downfield, and their single coverage, the pass incomplete. And he's looking for one of his receivers to bust open. Good coverage that time by Dowling. It was one-on-one coverage with, I believe it might have been, it was Adam, Martinez?
Was that Martinez or Adam Brock? Yeah, Odell for, right, 16. Odell on, couldn't tell if it was Odell on Owen Schultz or if it was Odell on Adam Brock.
It was Odell on...
Be Schultz in this formation.
In this formation it is.
Yep.
All right, and now here's a Lindquist with it, and got the hand off, and you think they're going to throw? He gets about 9 yards. He's shy of the first down into Dowling territory, man.
I've been impressed with him. He's a strong running back. Runs hard for the Warriors.
And he gets it down to the Dowling 41, and now Waukee hurry-up offense here. They went with basically out of huddle, and they gave it to Lindquist, and he's snowed under in the backfield. Forward progress back to the 41-yard line, so he'll lose a yard or so on the play.
Good play by Deani Gerke there. Comes up and makes the initial hit, I believe, on Lindquist behind the line of scrimmage, and everybody else rallied to the football there to make this fourth down situation.
4th and 1 Waukee, as they were shy of the first down. Out of the shotgun is quarterback Mitch Randall for Waukee, and they're going to, what are we going to do here? We got a penalty flag down, and we've got offside down.
Offsides, yeah. The Maroons went offsides there on the outside. The kid shuffled over the line of scrimmage, and Waukee got one back on us.
Yep. Turnabout is fair play. The Maroons picked that up in the first quarter on their first series.
Yep.
So it's 1st and 10 Waukee. Line of scrimmage, the Dowling 36. Warriors going right to left towards the north end zone here at Valley. And the read option, and the give is to the tailback Lindquist as Randall hands it off.
Lindquist, you got to keep playing. The young man kept his legs churning right there, and it looked like Michael Keogh had to tackle, and he kept his legs churning and took two other guys to come in and get him down. That was a nice run by Lindquist, even though he didn't get anything. Just kept the play alive.
Yeah, he certainly did. So to bring up second down 10, Waukee. Line of scrimmage remains the 36-yard line. Quarterback is Mitch Randall, and Randall's going to keep the football around the right side. Hops a tackle, still on his feet, got the first down, and finally run out of bounds just before he reached the 20-yard line. So first down, Waukee. And I'll tell you what, Randall might have got 15 yards on that play, and he did most of that on his own after he got in the open field.
I thought it was a broken play at first, but then there was one blocker downfield intentionally, and so it was not a broken play, a good play design.
They're going to spot him out of bounds at the 23-yard line. 13-yard run for the Waukee quarterback. First and 10, Waukee. Back to throw Randall. Pop pass over the middle. It's caught, and getting towards the end zone but brought down is Stephen Elliott, the receiver. He's brought down at the Dowling 2-yard line. A pickup of 20 yards.
Again, assignment football there as the tight end came free. They had two guys in the pattern right next to each other. No one had the tight end. It looked like a broken pattern because the two guys were side by side.
They were.
And tight end was open and made the nice pitch and catch there for Randall is on target again.
We've got an injury on the Waukee team as hopefully it's just cramps as a Waukee.
Looks like cramps. I think that's the young man who just caught the football there, Eddie Sadat.
Sadat might be the injured player, but we'll keep it here with 3:36 remaining in the first half. 14-10, Dowling with the lead over Waukee. Both teams have 2 timeouts remaining. Let's bring in our Shields sideline reporter, and that is John Chido. And John, give us an update while they tend to the injury for Waukee.
Well, it's been back and forth, and right there, you have 4th and 1, and we jump off sides, allows Waukee to get a first down, and then a bad snap by the Waukee center, and Randall, he has some speed, was able to get the edge, a big first down, big play on first down, and then a misassignment, not accounting for that tight end on that completion over the middle.
All right, it was Sadat that was injured. Thank you for that report, John. As Eddie Sadat Jr., 6'2", junior tight end, was shaken up, and he gets up under his own power for the Waukee Warriors. And we're going to bring up first and goal, Waukee. The line of scrimmage is a 2-yard line of Dowling. Lindquist in the backfield along with quarterback Mitch Randall. 2 receivers to the right. Actually, 3 to the right now. Randall on the snap, and a quarterback draw, and he's hit in the backfield and dropped back to the 3-yard line. And boy, the Maroons sent the house that time, Matt Maindring. Yeah. And I'll bring up second and goal back at the 3-yard line.
Yeah, we've been calling, Jackson Filer's getting to know Randall pretty well back there. And on that play right there, he made the initial hit on him as well and was able to get him from getting ahead of steam and coming forward. Lost a couple yards, so now we end up with second and goal from about the 4.
This time Randall will be under center. No receivers and kind of a wishbone formation, play action. Randall fires in the end zone. The pass is knocked away, incomplete by the Maroons. Great hustle by the Maroons. They were not fooled by that scenario, and Dowling now all over that with Owen Schiltz knocking away there, Matt.
Owen Schiltz made a nice play. He got his hand on the ball and then knocked the guy down. And, the guy was looking for pass interference, not realizing that Owen Schiltz had already tipped it and put it out of play. Outstanding play.
Stadium now is as loud as it's ever been. Third and goal, Waukee from the 3-yard line of Dowling. Dowling 14, Waukee 10. Quarterback is Mitch Randall out of the shotgun. 1 receiver to the right, 2 to the left. Randall back to throw. Throws towards the end zone. Got a man wide open. Touchdown, Waukee. And that is the tight end on the catch. Eddie Sadat Jr., who was shaken up during the drive, and he scores. And Waukee now has retaken the lead, 16-14 over Dowling.
We came with pressure off the edge there, sent one guy, and that left someone one-on-one with the tight end, and must have got tied up at the line of scrimmage, and he was uncovered and open, and makes an easy throw for Randall and for the touchdown.
9 plays, 50 yards on the Waukee drive. That was after the fumble by Hank Hemrick at midfield. Waukee takes it down and goes 9 plays. They lead by 2 with 2 minutes and 40 seconds remaining. Extra point is up and good. So the Waukee Warriors retake the lead. Our second lead change of the night. Waukee 17, Dowling 14. We'll take a 1-minute break with 2:40 remaining here in the first half here on Iowa Catholic Radio and the Central Iowa Sports Network.
Waukee will be open Labor Day 10 to 4. Chevy Labor Day sales event through September 3rd. No payments for 90 days. 0% for 72 months plus over $6,000 off Silverado double cabs. 0% for 60 months plus over $6,000 off Silverado Crew, 1LTs, and SPs. No payments for 90 days. Save in Waukee. 0 for 60 plus up to $3,000 off Equinox. No payments for 90 days. 0 for 72 plus up to $2,200 off Trax. No payments for 90 days. Open Labor Day 10 to 4. Schottenkirk Chevrolet Waukee. WaukeeChevy.com.
And welcome back to Valley Stadium. Waukee has retaken the lead over Dowling, 17-14 in our second lead change. Here's the kickoff, and it's fielded by Louis Brooks at the 1-yard line. Louis across the 15, and he's tripped up as he crossed the 20 to about the 21-yard line. That's where Dowling offense will take over first and 10. As Waukee leads at 17-14 here with 2:34 remaining in the second quarter. Both teams have 2 timeouts at their disposal. And let's go down to our Shields sideline reporter, that is John Chido, for an update.
Well, when's the last time that we talked about tight ends this much early in the season, or the whole season at all? And the tight ends for Waukee have been really good tonight as far as getting separation, making nice catches.
Yes, they have. Eddie Sadak on that 3-yard reception for Waukee for the touchdown. And now Dowling back to the ground game. They hand it off to Tegan Johnson. And Tegan gets from his own 22-yard line and maybe gets up to the 24 for a gain of 2 there, Matt.
Cole Spikesma came off the edge there and around the corner and made the play from behind, and an aggressive play there again by Waukee. Early on, we see a lot of run blitz, what I would call run blitz formations out of Waukee.
So 2nd down and 8 after the 2-yard run by Tegan Johnson, and now that's pass completed now to Stillwell on a quick hitter, and they're going to spot his forward progress up to about the 33.
They're giving him
That's a first down. Yes,
yeah.
It is. Job by Still.
Yeah, good catch there, and the way to finish the run by Matt Stillwell. Took a heck of a lick there at the end of that play too, and able to maintain control of the football and get the first down.
Minute 50 remaining. Clock continues to run. Dowling trails 17-14. First down Maroons on their own 33. Stillwell. Check that. Hank Hemrick, the handoff to Tegan Johnson. Stillwell was maybe the decoy. Nice job by taking that fake out by Hank Hemrick, and Tegan gets up to the 42-yard line. Nice run that time with 9 yards.
Yeah, now you're going to see things speed up a little bit. Getting closer to midfield, coach going to get a little more aggressive here.
First and 10, Dowling from their own 41. Handoff goes right side. Tegan Johnson picks up the first down. That'll stop the clock. And he stopped at about the 40.
I don't know if they're going to give him the first down here. We're going to
43-yard line. If it does, yes, they do.
Yeah, they do. They're going to stop the clock to move the chains.
That'll save a timeout. Dowling has 2 timeouts remaining. So does Waukee. A minute 14 remaining, second quarter. Reminder, Andy Jepson, the president of the Greater Des Moines Catholic Football League, will be our halftime guest. So we'll get set for that after John Chido catches up with Dowling coach Tom Wilson at halftime. Back to throw is Hemrick. Fires it downfield, looking for Stillwell. The pass is nearly intercepted, and it ends up being incomplete as Aaron Smith was back on coverage for Waukee, number 5, and he nearly took it away from Stillwell.
I think the Stillwell in maroon was playing more defense than the number 5 in white. Matt did a good job of taking the interception away there. Hank throwing up that jump ball again. Again, they're looking for Matt on those edges, going against those one-on-one situations.
All right, 2nd and 10, Dowling from the 44-yard line, and now here is Hank Hemrick keeping the football and gets up to about the 46-yard line. Dowling may need to think about using the timeout here with 50 seconds remaining, and the ball at the 47-yard line of Dowling.
We're going to run one more play before he gets aggressive with his timeouts here and sees what happens.
Hemrick, a gain of 6. Maroons set to go. 3 receivers left, 1 to the right. 3rd and 7 from the 47. Play action fake. Now Hemrick tries to get away from defender, and he can't. He's hit and dropped in the backfield. Nice job by the Waukee defense.
You're going to see if Waukee's going to call a timeout here, if they're going to take it.
Connor Arndt with the sack, and that'll stop the clock with 22 seconds remaining. We'll keep it here. 17-14 is our score. Dowling trailing Waukee, and a timeout is called on the field.
Coach Wilson called a timeout. So the Maroons use a timeout, 3rd and 12 with 22 seconds to go.
I want to thank Kemen, along with Mercy One and Two Rivers Glass and Door, for supporting our broadcast here all season long on Iowa Catholic Radio. And let's go down to our Shields sideline reporter. That is John Chido during this timeout with 22 seconds remaining in the first half. Waukee 17, Dowling 14. And Johnny, take it away on the Dowling sideline.
Yeah, Arndt made a nice play there to cut loose of our offensive lineman to get Hank. Hank had some room out there, but number 95 for Waukee, Arndt, made a good play to bring Hank down in the backfield.
Yeah, loss of 6, unfortunately, there, John and Matt. For the Maroons, they've got to figure out a way here. 4th and 12.
They're going to punt it.
And
it struck me that was probably what was going to happen after he called the timeout. They sit there and they see if they have any matchups they like and talk it over. And they didn't want to give Waukee. Waukee's explosive, and if you give them the ball at the 40-yard line, pretty easy for them to get, or they have an opportunity, not easy, to get into the end zone.
Jake Calvert back to punt for Dowling. He'll stand right about his own 27. Low snap. Calvert picks it up. Left-footed kick. And it's off the side of his foot. It's a short kick. Bounces at the Waukee 44-yard line and down there by the Dowling defense. So there'll be no return of the play. That killed about 10 seconds of clock. So 14 seconds remaining here in the first half, Matt. And Waukee leading 17-14. You got to think the Waukee offense, well, would they take a shot? Because they've been taking them all night.
Yeah, I think with Randall and the arm that he has, I think you could see him most definitely taking a shot. He's got 2 experienced receivers in Odell and Martinez. Would not be surprised to see him turn one loose.
All right, Waukee offense on the field from their own 44. And the give is to Lindquist. He's got the first down, and he's down at the 40-yard line. Finally brought down by the Dowling defense in the secondary at the 41 officially. And that'll stop the clock for the first down with 8 seconds remaining here, Matt.
Yeah, Dowling lined up defensively. They were going to give that, and so they're going to give the run. And the one thing now, with 8.6 seconds left, you've got one throw to the end zone. Waukee has a really good kicker. You could see a quick out thrown to Martinez. They had some success with that on the right side of the field on the Waukee sideline to bring their field goal kicker out and see if they can get a 40-yard field goal.
I think he had one field goal last year, did Cade Jaden, and one out of 3 in field goals, and that was from 44 yards. So you need to get a little bit closer and protect the clock because you got to have enough time for 2 plays. Waukee does have one more timeout remaining, as does Dowling, and we'll see how that transpires.
You're right. I think if they're going to do this, they got to run it out to about the 25-yard line, somewhere in there. That gives them a 42-yard field goal. Somewhere in that range is what I would look to see, and you can get that done in 8.6 seconds, and then call a timeout and get your kicker on the field.
Reminder at halftime, our guest is Andy Jepson. He is the president of the Greater Des Moines Catholic Football Association, Catholic Football League, and will join us here at halftime. All right. On first down, back to throw is quarterback Randall, and fires it out. It's caught, but out of bounds at the 40, and we've got 2 seconds remaining as everybody was well covered in the deep secondary, and he found his safety valve, and that was a nice catch that time by Zach Gaines for a short gain down to about the 40-yard line.
Well, here's one. If he's got the arm, you throw it in the end zone and see if you can get that jump ball.
Well, he's got the
I think he's got the arm.
Yeah,
he's got the arm. And we're putting 3 guys up and about 8 guys back in coverage right here.
All right, 3 receivers left, 1 to the right. So 4 receivers for Waukee, 1 back in the backfield. And now the inside handoff, a counter play, if you will. Lindquist has it, and time has expired, and so Lindquist goes out of bounds, and that'll be the final play of the first half.
A flag on the field. If it's an offensive penalty, then the half is over. If it's a defensive penalty, there's going to be another play. But I got to believe there was a block in the back downfield.
And officials now huddling together. The ball went out of bounds right about the 26-yard line. And it is against Waukee, so that'll end the half with Waukee leading Dowling 17-14 on the opening night of high school football here on Iowa Catholic Radio, as John Chido will get set to talk to head coach Tom Wilson of Dowling Catholic as the Maroons trail at halftime 17-14 to Waukee. Very similar to last year, John. It was tied at halftime between the 2 teams, so we're just about where we were last year. Take it away with head coach Tom Wilson.
Well, Coach, it's been a back-and-forth matchup this first half, first game of the season. Your thoughts on the first half?
We had some things early in the ball game offensively. Didn't capitalize in the first series, then made a couple of plays. Were able to put some points on the board, and then they returned the favor. big pass play by them really got them back in the ball game. We had momentum on our side. Looks like to me we have to tackle better.
Okay, Coach, good luck in the second half. Thank you.
John Chido with head coach Tom Wilson at halftime as Waukee leads Dowling 17-14. Before we take our break, Matt Maindring, let's take a look at the first half statistics, and boy, they're just about dead even. Total yards, both teams, Dowling with 239 yards and Waukee 238. Don't get any closer than that. Waukee has passed for 138 yards, 9 out of 16 passing for Mitch Randall for 138 yards, no interceptions with 2 touchdowns, and Dowling, Hank Hemrick, 8 out of 14 passing for 74 yards and no interceptions. He did fumble once. Waukee has rushed the ball 17 times, 100 yards. Dowling rushed the ball 22 times for 165 yards. The Maroons have been penalized 6 times for 41 yards. Waukee penalized twice for 20 yards. And the lone turnover was by Dowling as quarterback Hank Hemrick coughed up the football at midfield, our lone turnover of the night. The leading rusher for Dowling, Tegan Johnson, 12 carries, 131 yards and a touchdown. Quarterback Hank Hemrick, 10 carries, 34 yards and a touchdown. And the leading receiver for Dowling, Matt Stillwell, 4 catches, 43 yards. Louis Brooks, 2 catches for 22 yards. For Waukee, Alex Lindquist, their leading ball carrier, 12 carries, 75 yards. And quarterback Mitch Randall, 5 carries for 25 yards. The leading receiver is Alex Lindquist, 2 catches, 67 yards, and the touchdown. And the other leading receiver is Jalen Martinez. They completed 2 passes to him for 25 yards. And their tight end, Eddie Sadat Jr., he has 2 catches for 24 yards. And the other receiver, Sam Odell for Waukee, 2 catches, 21 yards. So let's look at some of the numbers in the first half, Matt, as we go to halftime. Your thoughts before we go to break?
I think it's what we would have expected at this point. I think it's what we would have expected at this point. 2 well-coached football teams, and they're going at it early in this game, trying to figure out what their strengths are going to be this year and get into a rhythm. And so as Coach is talking about, the lack of tackling, that did become somewhat evident there, and the 1 turnover. So it's the few penalties and the turnover. Dowling's made a little bit of a hill for themselves to climb. And the thing that's true about Dowling, though, as we well know, the second half ball club.
That's right.
And they do tend to grind it out.
Well, a year ago it was 14-all at halftime. Dowling went off to win that one 48-14. Who knows what's in the second half in store for us here tonight. At halftime it's Waukee 17, Dowling 14, and we'll come back with our halftime guest, Mr. Andy Jepson, the president of the Greater Des Moines Catholic Football League. He'll be my guest here at halftime. Stay tuned here on Iowa Catholic Radio and the Central Iowa Sports Network.
Moms typically get to make a majority of the healthcare decisions for their family. That can be a lot of pressure, but not for me, because I know the choice is ours. For medical tests like MRIs, X-rays, CAT scans, and of course mammograms, ask your doctor to refer you to Iowa Radiology. They work around our hectic schedules, they're the best at what they do, and they're so great with my family. They truly care, and it shows. Visit iowaradiology.com or call to schedule an appointment. Iowa Radiology.
You want to get stronger, faster, healthier. You want more. You want to be part of something bigger than yourself. A place for people of all ages, all walks of life, that provides opportunities for all to succeed. We do that. We're the why. Build more than muscle. Build a stronger community.
And welcome back to halftime here at Valley Stadium as Waukee leads Dowling 17-14 here on Iowa Catholic Radio. Mark Amadale along with Matt Maindring and John Chido here at halftime. My guest, if you're watching on the webcast, CISN.TV, Andy Jepson, the president of the Greater Des Moines Catholic Football League. Coach, you're a coach too, and congratulations on the coaching side. The offensive quarterbacks coach at Grandview got the win last night over Mid-American Nazarene, so you're a pretty happy guy today. Packed house here, Catholic Football League night. Welcome, Coach.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. I didn't realize we were on camera. I kind of have a face for radio.
Yeah, well, so do I. And step right in. You're doing fine, Coach. And first of all, I want to thank you because I know a lot of time, talent behind the scenes going to the Catholic Football League. And Andy, all you got to do is look and see how successful it is. What a tremendous job that you and the staff there. Now, you're the elected president, but you got the board members, the executive staff do a great job. And the one thing I can say that, folks, is numbers are up. Yeah. Safety's up, and participation is up, and you're here to talk about that. And the first thing I got to ask you, what are you doing right that makes this happen, especially in football this day and age?
You know, I think it's a couple things. It's a combination, certainly, of the great people that are involved in our organization, as you mentioned. You know, we're an all-volunteer youth sports organization. You know, moms and dads and volunteer coaches across the board, and as you said, you know, our focus and emphasis has certainly been how do we make the game as safe as possible for our young kids who are just learning the game and trying to develop that love for the game. And we think we found a couple ways to encourage participation with, you know, extending the amount of time that we spend with our kids in flag football as opposed to, you know, rushing them into the tackle game. And things are going well. I mean, it certainly doesn't hurt us to be affiliated with the Dowling Catholic High School program either. You know, the success that Coach Wilson and his staff has had and his program has had, you know, it helps us as well. People are interested.
And Andy, you know this from your dad was a high school coach up at Manson Northwest Webster. You look at some of the traditional teams, whether it be small school or big school, the head coach gets involved, and so does the staff. And Tom has been to the 6th, 7th, and 8th grade practices. He's very vital in that. But he's also there when the youngsters, 1st through 5th grade, they play flag. 6th grade's the first year for tackle, and the numbers kind of go down that year. But you know what? Every time there's a transitional year, it does. But you get them back by 7th and 8th grade.
Yeah, we really are. You know, I can't say enough about Coach Wilson and his staff. You know, they are always available to us. They're interested in what we're doing. They understand the value of the connection that our youth program has to their high school program. There's nobody in the state that does it better and invests more time and energy into the youth program than Tom and his staff, and we're extremely grateful for that. It's critically important to the success that his high school program has, and it helps us along the way as well, no doubt about it. You know, you mentioned our 1st through 5th graders. We are this in the 4 years that I've been on the board. This is the largest number of kids that we've had participating in our league. We've got over 420 kids participating 1st through 5th grade. We've got about 50 kids participating at the 7th grade level, and about 50 at the 6th grade level, and about 55 at the 7th grade level. And we're just very excited about the numbers and the level of energy and participation in the sport right now.
Andy Jepson is my guest here on the halftime show as Dowling and Waukee here at halftime. Waukee leads Dowling 17-14. Andy is the president of the Greater Des Moines Catholic Football League, and we're going to talk. We'll give some information out about numbers. Registration right now is closed.
It is, yes.
But the season opener is a week from tomorrow on September 7th and 8th, Saturday and Sunday. The 1st through 5th grade flag play at Dowling, and then the 6th and 7th grade tackle. And I know that personally because my daughter plays volleyball, and I see you with your daughter in volleyball.
That's right.
So you're back across the field, and then you're inside watching your daughter. I know how this is going to work all fall.
Yeah, it's been interesting. I'm trying to get these volleyball games in while I can before we're traveling for Grandview, and we got all kinds of stuff going on. But it's actually amazing to me. It has been for a number of years, the amount of activity and just positive energy that is going on campus at Dowling, really at all times. But Saturday morning, I mean, you want to be in a bustling place that's got a lot of energy and a lot of stuff going on. You just stop by Dowling Catholic High School. We've got football going up in the stadium on the turf. There's volleyball going usually in the gyms, and you know, folks practicing up on the grass fields up on the west side. So there's a lot going on, and to your point, we've got 15 flag games, so 30 teams participating next Saturday morning. And those kids are raring and ready to go. They were out here tonight and enjoyed running across the field, and then the next day, our 6th and 7th grade teams will get started either with home games or you know, maybe on the road in the Mid-Iowa Youth Football League that our tackle teams participate in.
Andy, let's talk a little bit about the tackle program. Starts in 6th grade. That's a little bit later than some leagues start, which I think is good because you want kids to be out for football as much as possible. But the Guardian's going to play the Guardian helmet, and we can talk to our listeners and our viewers about what the Guardian helmet means, a little bit more safety aspect, because in the Catholic football program, all the coaches teach heads-up safety and
Absolutely.
tackling, and I'll let you speak to that.
Well, we're at a point right now, and I think I mentioned this a year ago when we talked. The game of football, I've been around it now for 35 years or better as a youngster, as a player, as a coach, and as a parent. And the game has never been safer. And what I mean by that is everything from teaching and coaching technique that has evolved over time to involve certifications and clinics and trainings on how to appropriately teach kids how to learn how to tackle and how to block and things of that nature, all the way through the equipment that these kids are wearing, which is a far cry from, we weren't in leather helmets, but it wasn't that far away. The stuff that these kids have on their body now as armor is so much better. One of our focuses the last 2 years, and we've actually we now just had our third annual Catholic Football League golf outing as a fundraiser for protective equipment. And the thing that we've invested in the last 2 years are Guardian caps, which fit over the top of the normal helmet. And we wear those 6th, 7th, and we actually purchased those for the 8th graders as well. What they wear those for is at practice. And all it is an extra layer of cushion and padding. Is it going to prevent all head injuries? No, but it certainly does not hurt anything, and we believe that it certainly prevents some. It gives you just an added layer of security, as particularly when you're teaching young kids how to hit and how to tackle and how to block and things like that. So that's been a great step forward for us. We're actually going to extend that to the 4th and 5th graders who play what we call transitional flag, which is flag and a helmet and a pair of shoulder pads. Those kids will actually have Guardian caps on their helmets next year, assuming things continue to go well with the golf outing.
Well, and the golf outing is a tremendous fundraiser. And my sideline reporter, you might know him. His family kind of hosts the golf outing at one of those infamous courses in Des Moines where the Blank, Waveland, etc. This year it was held at Blank. Yeah. I know the Chidos and all the people that got involved. It is a tremendous fundraiser to purchase these Guardians and other equipment to keep the kids safe.
Yeah, John Chido and his family have been. We couldn't do the things that we've done the past few years without them and their support, and there's so many others that should be mentioned that have served in one role or another, whether it's on the board or in a coaching capacity or helped us with the fundraising. Mark Scigliano has been a huge supporter, from his position on the board, and I probably shouldn't get too far into the board because I really should mention all of them. They're fantastic guys that put in a lot of time and effort, and certainly we get the benefit of everything that they do. But you're exactly right. The Chido family's been great to us.
Andy, before we let you go, folks want to get in touch. Now, I know that registration is closed for this fall, but the website is dmcatholicfootball.com. You go there, you can log on, and there's email addresses for board members, coaches, and yourself, and your cell numbers. If parents just want to talk and maybe they're thinking about enrolling a kid, maybe it's 7th grade, maybe it's 6th grade for the first time, or maybe back in 1st, 2nd grade flag, they can get a hold of you.
Absolutely, they can. That's the best way to go about it, is just to check out our website. And above and beyond just our registration system that's on the website, we've got information about off-season camps and clinics and things that kids can get involved in. That's the best place to look as soon as we open registration again for the 2020 season, which will be roughly April 1st. Our registration tends to run from April 1st through the end of July, and then it's time to roster those kids, and away we go. So
dmcatholicfootball.com. Log on there. You'll get his information, not mine, but his, Mr. Chido and the board members. Andy, I can't thank you enough for what you do behind the scenes. How many more years you got as a Presidente?
That's kind of undefined, I think.
I see.
At this point, with the current board, maybe just as long as they'll have me, I guess. I got all these guys that do all the heavy lifting, and they're great at it. So I really enjoy it. It's a great opportunity to get connected to a youth program. My son's done now. He's an 8th grader, so he's through the Catholic Football League and headed hopefully down the Dowling path from a football standpoint. And so now it's it may be a little bit easier for me to be involved because I don't have the stresses of worrying about how him and his buddies are doing or their team. But it's certainly something I enjoy.
Just get him to practice on
That's
time,
right. That's right.
Because you're a parent in that regard.
That's right.
Get him to practice. Andy, thanks for all you do.
You bet. Thank you.
We'll be back with more from Valley Stadium. Our halftime score: Waukee leading Dowling 17-14. Matt Maindring, John Chido rejoin the broadcast. I'm Mark Amadale here on Iowa Catholic Radio and the Central Iowa Sports Network.
Moms typically get to make a majority of the healthcare decisions for their family. That can be a lot of pressure, but not for me, because I know the choice is ours. For medical tests like MRIs, X-rays, CAT scans, and of course mammograms, ask your doctor to refer you to Iowa Radiology. They work around our hectic schedules, they're the best at what they do, and they're so great with my family. They truly care, and it shows. Visit iowaradiology.com or call to schedule an appointment. Iowa Radiology.
You want to get stronger, faster, healthier. You want more. You want to be part of something bigger than yourself. A place for people of all ages, all walks of life, that provides opportunities for all to succeed. We do that. We're the why. Build more than muscle. Build a stronger community.
Back here at halftime at Valley Stadium, Mark Amadale alongside Matt Maindring. Our halftime score is Waukee 17. And go back a year ago, it was tied at 14, and Dowling put up 48 points in the contest. They had quite the second half, and I know we're kind of talking about this. So hopefully John is monitoring downstairs, and we'll get him involved in the conversation. But, Matt, the keys to the second half, and this will be our Schottenkirk keys to the second half since we forgot to do it during the first half. But your thoughts on some adjustments we're seeing, what Dowling's been doing, wants to do, and you know the story of Matt, of head coach Tom Wilson, Matt. You know what he thinks, and what will Waukee do with what's worked right for them? And I'll just have you have the first shot there, Matt.
It's going to come down to, Lindquist has been more of a force than I had anticipated out of him. He's really doing a great job of running the football. And we kind of knew the two strengths of these teams. One was our offense and their defense. Those are the two strengths coming in. It was going to be a matter of, is their offense, is our defense going to be able to match their offense? A lot of youth on both sides of the ball. But the skilled players for Waukee are making things happen. Mitch Randall and Lindquist, and then Odell's had a couple catches, and Martinez had a couple catches, and they're making plays. And so, when you get in the second half here, it sounds a little monotonous, but it sounds like it's turnovers and penalties. That's the key.
All right. Well, John Chida, you're on the Dowling sideline, and Johnny, first of all, compliments from Andy Jepson, the president of Catholic Football League, for you and what your family do, hosting those golf outings to raise money for the Catholic Football League. So hats off to you and all you and your family do for that.
I appreciate that, Mark. But Andy, he's too kind. He does all the legwork and behind-the-scenes stuff, and he's a great leader of that board, and he's what makes that board roll. So.
All right, so back to the game, John. Since your thoughts on what Matt said. Look at the keys to the game, because we saw what happened a year ago, and we're almost in the same situation now.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and Coach mentioned it earlier. It's a game of momentum and big plays and penalties and stuff like that. But when you have a Waukee team that can go double tight and run the football and then be able to utilize their tight ends, and they're a deep threat down the field, that's tough to cover. You really have to be responsible in your assignments. And for Dowling offensively, they've been able to move the ball well. It's just their drives have stalled, or they've had some miscues and some penalties and stuff like that.
Well, Waukee's going to get the ball first here, Matt.
Yeah, and the thing that I see that's different this year versus last year in the game is you have a veteran in Mitch Randall, and I don't see him making those mistakes in the second half like he had last year. And this team's playing with a lot of confidence from Waukee, and in the end, it's going to come down to there's a little bit of conditioning, and can. Which team's going to wear the other team down. Momentum and enthusiasm and all those things start to run out of gas at the end of the third quarter and the fourth quarter. So who's going to have something in the tank?
All right. Well, you heard it from the experts as we're ready for the second half kickoff. Mark Amadale, Matt Maindring, John Chado, as Dowling and Jake Calvert will boot it from his own 40-yard line. Dowling going right to left, and here's the kick. High end over a kick. And angling out of bounds, and it went out of bounds just inside the pylon at the 2-yard line. So Waukee will take over First and 10 from their own 35-yard line here, Matt Mainring, as we get underway here in the second half. We want to thank Skeffington's Formal Wear, R&R Realty, and the Catholic Tuition Organization for supporting our broadcast here on Iowa Catholic Radio this year, along with the fine folks from the Central Iowa Sports Network. Matt?
That's a tough break for Calvert right there, because he had a nice kick, put a nice swing on the ball, and just hit the corner of the end zone there and bounced out the 1 yard line.
So Waukee with the first down to start the third quarter. They go left to right, north to south here at Valley Stadium. The quarterback remains Mitch Randall. What a first half he had, couple of touchdown passes. Started out of the shotgun, handoff, and a little read option. Aaron Smith, a little jet sweep, gets outside, first down across midfield, and that's Smith down the near sideline. He stays in bounds, dropped at the 20-yard line. So what a way to start the second half, a 60-yard run on first down. Rather, check that, a 45-yard run on first down.
Everybody's running backwards here. Do we have a flag on the field somewhere?
Back near the Valley logo around midfield, I believe, and officials are meeting there right at the 45 of Waukee, and this may come back. The Dowling fans seem to think so, Matt.
Oh, man, that's a tough break right there. It motion on the Waukee sidelines on that, or on the Waukee players on the offensive side, and they had set up that play perfectly. Aaron Smith was someone who didn't have a touch in the first half, and you wonder if there was something there, and he comes out and plays in the second half here. They get a dual threat like that with Smith and Lindquist. That's a tough tandem right there.
So Smith's 45-yard run is wiped out via the penalty, and they're going to mark it from the line of scrimmage, so it'll be backed up to the 30-yard line. So first and 15 Waukee back at their own 30-yard line. Tough break for the Warriors there. Waukee leads 17-14 over Dowling. Waukee comes in at 8th ranked, Dowling number 1 ranked. Out of the shotgun, Randall back to throw. Fires it out, caught by his tailback, and the ball is loose and recovered by Dowling. Lindquist took a hit, tried to jump on top of it. He did for a moment, and Dowling comes away with the fumble.
Interesting, because I wasn't sure if they're going to say he had control of the football on that play, and they're
exactly
going to
right.
clarify some things here. They're calling possession to Dowling.
We're going to get it.
Wait, we're going to.
Dowling football, they're saying, as they did say he had control of the football.
Yeah, and there was a little confusion there at the end. It looked like Waukee ended up with the football at the bottom of the pile, and so I'm not sure what happened. And Dowling football.
Fumbled by Lindquist.
No, they gave the ball back to Waukee. They did give the ball back to Waukee.
Now Tom Wilson's talking to one of the referees. Yeah, they are. Now it goes back to Waukee, so it is a first and 13. Should be second and 13.
Second 13.
From the 32-yard line. So Waukee retains possession. They go with a double tight end offense. A handoff to Lindquist on the jet sweep. He tries to turn the corner, bounces outside, and he's got a first down and more into the secondary. And he's finally run out of bounds at about the 43-yard line of Dowling. And I'll tell you what, you said it earlier, Matt. Lindquist is a load to bring down, and he was arm tackled twice in the backfield.
Yeah, he's really running the ball hard and kind of like Tegan Johnson. He's one of those guys, when he gets his shoulders squared up, he does a good job of getting to the line of scrimmage and getting vertical and getting yardage. It's interesting, it's Aaron Smith, who it wasn't on the field in the first half, I don't remember, and putting him back there gives them an outside threat as well.
So it's first and 10 Waukee, as quarterback will keep it. That's Mitch Randall, and he's hit and snowed under as he gets across the Dowling 40 down to about the 39-yard line. So he'll pick up 5. It'll bring up second and 10 Warriors.
Carson Kriegshauser on the stop there for the Maroons, as they, a little bit on their heels right now. Dowling is on this defensive side of the ball. Had a swing there with that lack of possession, and defense needs to come up and make a play here.
Second down and 5 Waukee on the Dowling 39. Randall out of the shotgun. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. Split backs on each side of him, and the read option. Randall, a little lateral pass, swings it out, and it's caught, and I believe that's the young man, Aaron Smith, who had the big run nullified, and he picks up the first down. He crossed the 30 to the Dowling 29.
Yeah, he's a wrinkle that they're trying to get him the ball out at the numbers. They're going to try and get him the ball out in the edge of the field. They figure with his speed he can make things happen out there, and he's showing some of that talent.
So Aaron Smith has touched the ball twice. One was called back, a 45-yard run. That time he picks up 10 and a first down for Waukee at the Dowling 29. Randall out of the shotgun, and he'll just follow his blockers to the left, and he dives down maybe to the 26-yard line before he stopped there. Gain of 3.
That was, more like a quarterback lead right there. They had both running backs leading the play. Probably had the option there as well, and Randall turned the corner, and the defense swarmed in there and kept it to a short gain.
Second down, 7 Waukee as they're in Dowling territory at the Maroon 26-yard line. Randall out of the shotgun. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. And Lindquist in the backfield beside him. And now penalty flag's down. That'll stop play. And we're going to have motion on Waukee, I believe. So it is a false start on the Waukee Warriors. That'll back them up. I want to thank Andy Jepson for being our halftime guest tonight here on Iowa Catholic Radio, the president of the Greater Des Moines Catholic Football League. He had a high praise for our sideline reporter. We'll get to that in a moment, as he should, John Chido, in that golf outing. Let's see if the Maroons can hold here. 2nd and 12 Waukee from the 31 of Dowling as that penalty backs him up. Randall on play action. Back to throw is being hit, and he's going to be dropped, sacked in the backfield, and guess who? Mr. Jackson Filer read that the whole way and makes the sack back at the 41-yard line. Matt, a loss of 10 on the play.
Jackson Filer comes back. He's got Mitch Randall's number, and he comes loose. He's tough to stop, and he's one of those kids, not very big. He just makes plays. A 6'1", or I'm trying to get I better get his numbers right here as I say them. But where's 91? But he's 6'3", 200 pounds, and he makes things happen.
Might have taken Waukee out of field goal range. It's 3rd and 22 from the Dowling 41. Randall just a draw play to Lindquist, and he's hit and dropped by Filer once again.
The ball came loose there at the end.
And Filer's got it. And
they're going to call him down, though. Filer made a nice play there and wrapped him up.
He took the ball away. They said he was down, so it'll bring up 4th down. And I think Waukee's going to bring the punting unit in. Might be 4-down territory. Just give it a shot, but they don't want to let Dowling's offense have it at the 41, so it'll bring up 4th and 22.
Matt Stillwell comes into the ball game for the Maroons as they send him back and get that veteran guy back there. The one thing, Matt did see some time on the offense last year. It was that guy back there who returned punts all season for the Maroons.
All right, 4th and 22, and Waukee will punt it away. It's a short, high-end over-end kick. Stillwell lets it bounce at the 15, takes a Dowling bounce, and they'll down it at the 15, will Waukee. So that's where the Dowling offense will start. 1st and 10 from their own 15-yard line with 7:37 remaining, 3rd quarter. Waukee 17, Dowling 14. Here on Iowa Catholic Radio and the Central Iowa Sports Network. Let's go down to our Shields sideline reporter, and that is John Chido. Johnny, give us an update.
Yeah, that Waukee drive started out well, and they moved the ball in a lot of read option plays with Randall and the running back, and then it stalled on a penalty, and then Dowling's defense, led by Jackson Filer, made some great plays to force Waukee to punt.
Yeah, Waukee's offense explosive. You can see they're really building on that, and we got a false start on Dowling now to start their series here, Matt.
Yeah, both teams showing a little bit of, I don't want to say jitters, a little excitement coming out of halftime here, and so we'll see what happens here now. Dowling puts themselves in a little bit of a hole at the 10-yard line.
Hank Hemrick is the quarterback for the Maroons. He's 5'11", 190-pound senior. In the backfield, Tegan Johnson. Tegan, a 5'10", 190-pound senior. 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Here's a snap, and Hemrick will keep the football between the tackles, puts his head down, and gets across the 10 up to about the 12-yard line. Will bring up 2nd down and 8 for the Maroons.
He gets swarmed under there. He had Cale Thorson and a couple other players on the bottom of that pile came in and stacked that play up. Makes it a 2nd long situation deep in your own territory, not where you want to be. I don't know if we have, officials are checking something here.
This could be the equipment thing that they make sure everybody's got. They're just talking to him right now. So it'll bring up 2nd and 13 as Dowling was penalized on 1st down by 5 yards. So Hemrick picks up a couple of yards of that back. 2nd and 13, Dowling, ball on the Maroon 12-yard line. 17-14 Waukee.
Big situation here for Hank, and see how he starts to mature in his position, leading this team offensively.
3 receivers right, 1 to the left. Hemrick, quarterback draw, keeps the football in the open field across the 20, still on his feet, and he's finally brought down at the 23-yard line. First down, Maroons. Nice little run that time by Hank Hemrick. He showed his strength, not so much on the breakaway speed, but showing his strength, staying upright and picking up the first down.
He does, and that's where all that leg work over the summer comes into play when you're able to keep your balance like that. That's Coach Jack yelling at him in the weight room about proper squat position and doing those things, and Hank was able to keep his balance.
15-yard run by Hemrick. First down, Dowling. Read option, handoff Tegan Johnson for the first time here in the second half, and Tegan slips 1 tackle but falls forward up to about the 30-yard line for a gain of 3. It'll bring up 2nd and 7 Dowling. 6 minutes, 30 seconds remaining on the game clock here in the third quarter. It continues to run, and Waukee leading by 3, 17-14 over Dowling.
Dowling coming out in this first half, or in the second half here, trying to establish that run just a little bit more. Early in the game they came out and threw the ball heavy in that first series. Now it's a run-heavy series.
All right, on 2nd and 7, handoff Tegan Johnson. Right up the gut he goes, over right guard and tackle, and he picks up the first down as he followed Ryan Bowles and Nolan Sin at the center and right guard, along with right tackle Tyler Stein.
Yeah, classic Dowling play right there, right up the middle for Tegan. And the one thing that Tegan did there, the little thing, is he got his hand on the ground, was able to get 2 more yards out of that play to extend it.
9-yard run, first down Dowling at their own 39. Now back to throw is Hemrick, fires it out, and a little slip screen. It's incomplete to Stillwell. And I think he had Josh Jackman kind of over there blocking for him as they ran a different version of the flanker screen, but the pass ended up being incomplete.
Yeah. Waukee was all over that play. You got, I want to say, number 5. He's out there, Aaron Smith out there defensively making a play for him. And really looked good.
All right, handoff Tegan Johnson on the read. He spins out of a tackle. He's got the first down, crosses midfield, and finally brought down by Waukee at the 45-yard line of the Warriors. Linebacker makes a stop. Jermaine Sandler with the stop for Waukee. But I'll tell you what, nice job by Tegan Johnson. How about the spin move?
I don't know so much about that spin move in there, but it really was effective. It's not a Tegan Johnson thing. Keep his shoulders squared and run.
All right, a 16-yard run for Tegan Johnson. They go back to the ground. Johnson with the handoff, and he slips out of 1 tackle, gets outside the numbers, and brought down inside the 40 of Waukee. So nice little drive going here for Dowling.
If I was to guess, Coach Williams is what?
88 years young.
88 years young. It looked like he had a discussion with that offensive line at halftime.
I would think so. And now the handoff, or actually keeping the ball, is quarterback Hank Hemrick. He fakes the inside, would be the old counter play to Tegan Johnson. He goes around right end and stays inside the right hash and gets down to the 35-yard line.
This looks like a different offensive line than what we saw in the first half. They are making holes right now.
So Hemrick with the run, 1st and 10 Dowling. And now here's Tegan Johnson getting outside as the ball goes to the right side, and Tegan goes down right about the 33-yard line for a pickup of 2. 2nd and 8 coming up for Dowling.
Finished that run going forward, did Tegan, and makes a 1-yard gain, a 3-yard gain for the Maroons.
12th play of this drive for Dowling will start at the 15, and they're just keeping up tempo. Handoff Tegan Johnson, right side, stop, start, and stop, and now he gets out of bounds, or nearly out of bounds, at about the first down marker at the 25.
It's going to be close to a first down. They're going to say he's a little short. A little short of the first down. Did a really good job of waiting for his blocker there, and did a little stutter step, set up a guy, and extended that play out.
This will be the 11th play of the drive, and Maroons keep the ball on the ground, and handoff goes to Johnson, and he gets the first down. So first down Dowling at the 24 of Waukee with 4:15 remaining here in the third quarter. Waukee 17, Dowling 14.
Tegan Johnson gets a break here, a well-deserved break. Chase Hauschelt comes in the game for the Maroons, and so now Tegan earned a lot of yards right there.
Yes, he did.
The hard way. So Chase Hauschelt in the game now for the Maroons.
1st and 10 Dowling from the 24-yard line of Waukee. On play action, back to throw Hemrick. Fires towards the end zone. He's got Louis Brooks open, but he overthrew him just barely. Incomplete at the goal line.
Louis just got turned around and didn't know over which shoulder to look for that ball, and Hemrick threw it to the outside shoulder. And if Louis would have had another step to get adjusted, that would have been 6 points.
2nd and 10 Dowling. The line of scrimmage is the Waukee 24. Warriors lead it by 3. Dowling threatening. They're nearly in the Bozeman, the Flores red zone. I want to thank Ashworth Vision Center along with construction professionals and dental associates. We appreciate their support on Iowa Catholic Radio. 2nd and 10 Dowling, pistol formation. Hemrick on play action. The give is to the tailback, Chase Hauschild. Slips a couple tackles, but finally wrestled down maybe at the line of scrimmage, if that.
Chase Hauschild, he did a good job. It was a 3-yard loss, and he turned it into a gain of about a half a yard. Really worked hard there to keep that play alive.
Certainly did. And now Tegan Johnson.
I think his first varsity carry when it mattered here, and so that's a little nerve-wracking in itself.
You're right, that is his first carry. And now Tegan Johnson back in there, along with Zach Swager, the H-back, who's sometimes a tight end, sometimes a fullback. Out of the shotgun, Hank Hemrick, the Dowling quarterback. Here's the snap. Hemrick will follow Tegan Johnson. Slips outside. He's got a first down, or rather inside the 20, and dropped to the 16, short of the first down. My bad, as he needed to get to the 14-yard line.
You saw Waukee coming up with the run blitz there. They were blitzing into the A gap, and Dowling picked it up, and Hank made a nice read and keep on that one, and then he got out to the off-tackle spot and turned that into an 8-yard gain.
That was a tremendous seal on the left side of the Dowling offensive line. Charlie Nank, Joe Ryan on that side. They sealed off and maybe even Lynch, the tight end.
Yeah, that was a nice play up front.
All right, 4th and 2 on the 8-yard run by Hemrick. 4th and 2 Dowling on the 16-yard line of Waukee. Dowling going for it. Here's the snap. Hemrick runs the option right side, cuts upfield, and he's not going to get it. He's going to be brought down near the
second effort.
15-yard line is where the referee's on it. He'll be a yard shy. So
second effort made that a lot closer than it should have been.
It did. He had a pitchman there, but he ended up keeping it. Pitchman was Tegan Johnson, and Waukee will take over on downs at the 15. This is all academic, as they just now officially tell you that. So 2:24 remaining third quarter, 17-14 Waukee with the lead, and Dowling turns another pretty good drive. It started back on their 15-yard line over on downs.
It's one of those drives that'll pay dividends in the fourth quarter, you'd think, because that was a wear 'em down up front drive, and we'll see where we head.
All right, Waukee, and they've been playing a little bit of up-tempo football here, and we'll see how they respond. 1st and 10 Waukee from their own 15-yard line. 2:24 remaining third quarter. We'll go down to our Shield sideline reporter, John Chido, following this, as quarterback for Waukee, Mitch Randall, keeps the football and gets a couple yards up to the 17. Let's go down to John Chido following that turnover on downs by the Maroons.
Yeah, it was a nice drive. A lot of time off the clock, and after a great defensive stop, and got stopped short there on a nice second effort by Hank, and it was a good old-fashioned option play there that was called on 4th and short.
Yeah, it certainly was, John, and the Maroons just fell short, so Waukee now with a 2nd and 7. Low snap, but Randall picks it up, fires the ball downfield, and the pass is incomplete, knocked down. Remember early in the game that happened, and he threw it from his nearly on his knee, and he completed the pass. This time, the Dowling defensive back right there.
If he would have completed that one, that would have been amazing.
It's his night.
It's his night. It's a bad snap, and the young man scrambles back, picks it up, and throws blindly to the sideline. And his man was right there. Was that Martinez out there on the edge, and almost completed it.
All right, so it's 3rd and 7 Waukee on their own 17-yard line here in the third quarter. They lead 17-14. Back to throw. Randall fires the ball downfield. He overthrew his intended receiver, Sam Odell. And again, kind of like what Louis Brooks went through. He threw it to the wrong shoulder, overthrew him, and incomplete, and the Dowling defense holds.
That's a big stop for the Maroons right there, and getting the ball back and getting that big offensive line back on the field here in order to keep the pressure on the Waukee defense.
And we want to thank our good friends at Kemen, Mercy One, and Two Rivers Glass and Door for supporting our broadcast all season long here on Iowa Catholic Radio. We'll go down to our Shield sideline reporter following this punt by Waukee, as back deep for Dowling is Matt Stillwell. And the Warriors will punt from their own 5-yard line. Getting the punt away is Colin Evers, and Stillwell will let it go out of bounds and right around the 40-yard line. That's where Dowling will take over. 1st and 10 as they mark it off at the 45, their own 45. Let's go down to John Chido and our Shields sideline report. Johnny, take it away.
That last series was a great play by the whole defensive line, putting pressure on Randall, because he's not having much time to throw, and is forcing a lot of just off of his targets, and that's credited to the Dowling defensive line putting a lot of pressure on him.
Well, then, John, you're really in tune to this because you're on the sidelines, but conditioning, Matt, our colleague here, Matt Maynard talked about conditioning, and we saw the Dowling defense get all over that quarterback as they got into the red zone.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and that's what's going to come down to is who's better in shape, and it might come down to the last series the way this thing's going.
All right, handoff goes to Tegan Johnson. He slips a tackle, and he kind of twists his way forward, if you will, from his own 45 up to about the 47 for a hard gain of 2. That should have been a loss of at least 1 there.
You know, I think Cale Thorson there made a nice play to get the initial hit on Tegan, and then Tegan just kept those feet churning, rolled off him, and it took 3 more Waukee guys to finally bring him down.
All right, Dowling with 3 receivers split out to the right, or rather to the left of the formation. Dowling going right to left. Minute left here in the third quarter. Waukee 17, Dowling 14 here at Valley Stadium on a beautiful night. Tegan Johnson, the handoff, works right, cuts inside the numbers, and he falls forward, gets across midfield, and dropped to the 47 of Waukee for a 6-yard gain.
Yeah, he got out to that edge and squared up. Caleb Paulus for the Warriors got out there and was able to get his legs and bring him down. Tegan really got squared and just accelerated once he was able to get squared up.
Certainly was as they run that play as they try to get outside the numbers with Tegan as the quarterback goes the other way. All right, third down, 3rd and 2 for Dowling. 2 receivers left. Hemrick out of the shotgun. He picks up the first down, fakes the handoff to Tegan Johnson. Tegan's slow to get up, and I'll tell you what, Hank Hemrick fouled his offensive line. First down at the 38 of Waukee, a pickup of 9.
I said it earlier, you know, he's really impressed me with his leg strength, Hank, and you know, at that quarterback position, he's been able to drag people along and keep those feet churning himself. Looks like another tailback back there when he's running. Strength.
That's what you want out of your quarterback. That was the final play of the third quarter. We'll take a break. We've come to the end of the third quarter here at Valley Stadium in week 1 of the high school football season. Waukee 17, Dowling 14. Back with the fourth quarter in 1 minute here on Iowa Catholic Radio and the Central Iowa Sports Network.
Schottenkirk Chevrolet Waukee will be open Labor Day 10 to 4. Chevy Labor Day sales event through September 3rd. No payments for 90 days. 0% for 72 months plus over $6,000 off Silverado double cabs. 0% for 60 months plus over $6,000 off Silverado Crew, 1LTs, and SPs. No payments for 90 days. Save in Waukee. 0 for 60 plus up to $3,000 off Equinox. No payments for 90 days. 0 for 72 plus up to $2,200 off Trax. No payments for 90 days. Open Labor Day 10 to 4. Schottenkirk Chevrolet Waukee. WaukeeChevy.com.
Every month or so, there's another story in the media about when and how often we need to get our mammograms. Kind of confusing. When this happens, I like to consult with experts. So I called Iowa Radiology. They recommend women get an annual mammogram starting at age 40. They know that it's the best way to detect cancers early and save lives. And that's good enough for me. Visit iowaradiology.com or call to schedule your mammogram. Iowa Radiology, our focus is your good health.
And welcome back to the Valley Stadium on a packed house here on the opening night of high school football. Start of the fourth quarter, Dowling with a 1st and 10 from the Waukee 37-yard line. Handoff goes to Tegan Johnson, and he's still fighting forward inside the 35 down to about the 34 as the Maroons had their earlier drive stalled out about this area. So it'll bring up second down at the 34-yard line for Dowling here.
Ethan Wiersma is top there for the Warriors. And again, Tegan Johnson just making those legs churn at the bottom of the pile and extending the play.
So Tegan picked up 3 yards there. He was well over 100 yards at halftime, and he's tacking on here. Tegan Johnson started that second half of the 4A championship game last fall in place of Jason Murray, who went down. Back to throws Hank Hemrick on 2nd and 7 from the 34. Fires in the end zone. The pass is caught. Touchdown! Touchdown, Dowling! How about that? Louis Brooks with his first varsity touchdown. And look at the fans, look at the players, and the coaching staff celebrate Louis Brooks coming back from that collarbone injury, Matt, to haul it in.
I tell you, I thought Hank Hemrick, there's no way he's going to overthrow. He actually underthrew him a little bit. Louis broke free and straight down the middle of the field and made a heck of a catch. Almost a jump ball there. The Waukee.
Yes, it was.
I didn't quite pick up which kid it was from Waukee, but he made a heck of a play trying to knock it out of Louis' hands, but strong hands win.
Louis Brooks, a 34-yard touchdown reception from quarterback Hank Hemrick. We have an injured player down.
Well, that's
at the 23-yard
Aaron
line.
Smith, and I was questioning whether or not he played in the first half. He was the defensive starter all the first half, and came out here on the offensive side of the ball to start this second half. Glad to see that it's only a cramp that he's dealing with right there.
Yeah, because he is playing both ways for Waukee, and he gets off under his own power. So the extra point now by Calvert as Dowling leading 20-17 on the first play of the fourth quarter. Louis Brooks on a 34-yard touchdown reception. Quarterback Hank Hemrick. Extra point by Calvert, up and good. So Dowling now leading 21-17. The third lead change tonight. We'll take a 1-minute break and be back. Dowling 21, Waukee 17, 11:06 remaining fourth quarter. You're listening to Dowling Catholic Football on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network and the Central Iowa Sports Network.
Central Bank is proud to support the unmatched spirit of sportsmanship and hard work exemplified by our local athletes. We're fans of high school sports and the way the big game and hometown team rally a community. Best of luck to all of today's competitors. Play hard, have fun, and make something great happen. Central Bank, member FDIC.
Moms typically get to make a majority of the healthcare decisions for their family. That can be a lot of pressure, but not for me, because I know the choice is ours. For medical tests like MRIs, X-rays, CAT scans, and of course mammograms, ask your doctor to refer you to Iowa Radiology. They work around our hectic schedules, they're the best at what they do, and they're so great with my family. They truly care, and it shows. Visit iowaradiology.com or call to schedule an appointment. Iowa Radiology.
And we're back here at Valley Stadium as Dowling has retaken the lead, 21-17 over Waukee. Hank Hemrick with his first touchdown pass of the season, and the Tamia & Sons extra point was good. I want to thank Tamia & Sons for being our supporter all year long, and the kickoff goes out of bounds by Jake Calvert after the Maroons were in the Bows and the Flores red zone. And now let's go down to the Dowling sideline. The Maroons up by 4 points, and we'll go down to John Chido. Johnny?
Yeah, that's a great finish to that drive. Dowling needed to finish a drive like that. The last couple have stalled, and Louis Brooks went up to the highest point and took the football away, a jump ball, and made a great football play for that touchdown.
So 1st and 10, Waukee. The line of scrimmage is their own 35-yard line.
Play right there for the Maroons, and really.
So it is 4th down and 8. 4th down and 8 for Waukee back on their own 37-yard line, and the punting unit coming out. Clock stopped.
All right, here we go. We're going to get the ball back, and Matt Stillwell's deep for the Maroons.
And here's a punt. It's a high kick.
This is dangerous right here.
And you got to watch it. And Dowling now will pick it up at the 30-yard line and takes a hit at the 33-yard line on the return. So that punt went a mile in the air. It's like a big league pop-up, Matt, and Stillwell came right to him.
And everybody's yelling Peter on the sideline. and that's one of those things.
All right, let's go down to the Dowling sideline, our Shields sideline report, and let's go down to John Chido.
I will say this, Mark and Coach, this is a playoff atmosphere down here. It is really loud, and both sides are into this game, and it's really exciting to see for being the first game of the ball game, our first game of the year. And what a game Jackson Filer's having on defense.
Yes, he is. John, we've called his number quite a bit here in the second half as we got an injured Waukee Warrior on the field right now. 9:53 to go here in the fourth quarter. Dowling leading 21-17. Maroons will have a first down from their own 32-yard line with 9:53 remaining. Matt?
Looks like Cole Spikesma there for the Warriors, and looks like we're dealing with another cramp issue. And as we get into the last part of this ball game, that's going to become more and more of an issue as we head forward.
Spikesma going off under his own power, and hopefully that was a cramp issue. We've seen that with several players tonight. I know a couple for Waukee, and I'm not sure about Dowling, but it's typical of this time of year, the early games. The kids have been out there. We haven't had the extremely hot weather to get them accustomed to it, but tonight's a nice night, but it's for us, it's nice. For the players in those helmets and pads, a little warm.
Just right.
Nonetheless, first down Dowling. Line of scrimmage, their own 32. The Maroons lead by 4, 21-17. Hank Hemrick at quarterback. And here's a handoff, Tegan Johnson, and he kind of dances around the backfield and finally puts his head down and maybe got a yard up to about the
another player down for Waukee.
33-yard line.
It looks like. And Tegan is just such a workhorse in there in between the tackles, and and that's where he's at his best. And that was number 28 for the Warriors, Colin Evers, who
he's also their punter.
Got pulled up with the cramp right there, and he ran off the field on his own power.
All right, it'll be second down and 8 for the Maroons. Handoff Tegan Johnson once again. Slips out of a tackle, now spins out of it, and then finally brought down is hanging on for dear life that time was Braden Menz making the stop.
Braden Menz made a big play right
yes,
there because it looked like Tegan Johnson had spun out and broke loose, and it didn't look like there was anybody else there, and Braden goes out and reaches out for him and was able to bring him down.
21-17, Dowling with the lead here in the fourth quarter, 9:05 remaining. Third down and 8 Maroons. They'll send two receivers to the left. Louis Brooks and Matt Stillwell split wide left for Dowling. They'll bring in an extra tight end. Will the Maroons, shotgun formation. Hemrick back to throw on play action. Has time, dumps it off. Caught by the tight end that time. One of the tight ends are up back. And that's Zach Swager, the junior, with the catch. Shy of the first down, though.
Did a nice job of hanging on to the football because he got popped as soon as he caught the football there. And Waukee chose to play coverage on that play. And didn't bring any heat, and Hank gave him time to throw and make the pitch and catch, not enough for a first down.
So it'll bring up 4th and 4 for the Maroons from their own 42-yard line. Into punt will be Zach Calvert for Dowling Catholic, or rather Jake Calvert, and back deep. For Waukee will be Morrison, number 21. It's Joe Morrison, outstanding strong safety for the Warriors, and now we've got a stoppage of play.
They're going to take the delay game penalty.
So that'll back the Maroons up 5 yards.
The Maroons had one young man running late onto the field there, and it really slowed the whole process up, and Coach chose to take the 5-yard penalty versus the timeout.
So backs the Maroons up 5 yards. 4th and 9, Dowling. They lead 21-17 over Waukee. 8 minutes, 5 seconds remaining fourth quarter. Morrison back deep for Waukee at his own 25. Good snap. Calvert gets it away. And it's going to take a Dowling bounce. It bounces inside the 35. Still rolling inside the 25. And the Maroons will down it at the 24-yard line as good hustle down there by the Maroons. Jackson Filer, who sets it down.
He's all over the field.
Yes, he is.
You feel good for Jack Calvert right there because he's had a couple struggles on the kickoff side, but that punt got a nice roll out of it and got really good distance here and for the Maroons.
So 7:51 remaining. Let's go down to our Dowling sideline reporter and our Shield sideline report. John Chido, bring it in.
Yeah, this is going to be a big series for the Dowling defense, obviously. There's not many series left in this ball game with only 7:51. So Dowling's defense needs to hold strong here.
Yeah, and now pass completed by quarterback Mitch Randall. Rolled to his right and fired it downfield. It was caught. Not a first down, though. It's brought down. Receiver brought down at the 30-yard line. That's
Austin Klein on the play right there for the Maroons. And Austin, it's his first varsity start for the young man, and makes a nice play out there in space.
As I think Elliott with the catch. That's his second of the night for Waukee. A 5-yard reception, so it'll bring up 2nd and 4 for Waukee. Quarterback is Mitch Randall, low snap. Now being chased from his right side, cuts upfield, spins out of it, and brought down to the line of scrimmage for no gain. Good pursuit by the Dowling defense from the backside, and then making the stop for Dowling is Andrew Lynch, who's going tight end and defensive end.
Yeah, he rotated in there and made a nice play coming from behind to get Randall as he broke through the scrambled out of the pocket. And right now, Dowling's getting some fresh legs in there on that defensive front. We've given a couple guys a break. Right now, you got Chase Patton back in there. Theo Davis just came back on after a break. And here's a big third down play.
All right, 3rd and 5 for Waukee. Line of scrimmage is their own 30. Randall no gain on that last carry. Now the officials stopped the play clock, and they're talking to the Waukee offense. I think, Dowling's got to get their knee pads up. That's the second time that's happened tonight, so they hold up play for that. One of those safety things they got going.
Got to have them covered. Not like the pros.
Got to have them covered.
Got to have them covered.
All right, so the linebackers take care of that for the Maroons. I'm not going to call them out which ones, but nonetheless, it's not a penalty, and they knew that in the scrimmage last week I saw. So it's 3rd and 5 Waukee, Randall back to throw a little pop pass, caught by the big tight end. That's Sadat, and he's got the first down. He crosses the 35 up to the 36-yard line, I believe.
Nice throw.
89.
Yeah, nice throw by Mitch Randall, and Sadat on the big conversion right there, and he's Mitch Eddie Sadat, 6'2", 207. He looks taller than 6'2".
He does.
He's a big kid.
He certainly does. His dad's one of the volunteer assistant coaches on head coach Scott Carlson's crew. Back to throw is Mitch Randall for Waukee. Fires the ball out, and pass is underthrown, incomplete. He was trying to hit his intended receiver that time. Zach Gaines, a very experienced receiver, but
almost looked like it got tipped at the line of scrimmage. It came out funny if not with the ball.
It did, but it still had enough spiral on it. That's how strong his arm is for Randall. But it's incomplete, and bring up 2nd down and 10 Waukee at their own 37.
Waukee, you see as they start to open up their playbook a little bit more here, and as the time starts to wind down.
All right, long count by Randall, and hands it off to his running back, and that's Alex Lindquist. We haven't heard a whole lot from him as they've been airing it out here in this second half, and Lindquist maybe a yard up to the 36-yard line.
Filer made a nice play right there and took Lindquist down in the backfield, creates a 3rd and long situation, and as Coach Chido alluded to on the sideline there's not too many series left. And so this is a big conversion right here.
It's actually a 1-yard loss, so it's 3rd and 11 Waukee from their own 36. Back to throw is quarterback Randall, fires it down the near sideline. The pass is incomplete, broken up as his receiver, Sam Odell, lunged for it, and he threw it right between 2 Dowling defenders, Matt.
I thought Keogh and Owsley were going to end up crunching each other on that play, and the kid from Waukee was going to make the catch. It was a nice ball out there by Mitch Randall, and good coverage by Keogh and looked like Owsley, or if it was Austin Klein.
All right, let's go down to our Shield sideline reporter, John Chido. A good defensive effort that time by Dowling Catholic. They're really rotating personnel, John.
Yeah, so you had Owsley was playing press coverage with Keogh over the top, and you have to with that big tight end to kind of slow him up there and allow Dowling's defense to pressure the quarterback, Mitch Randall. And it was a great play by both those two guys.
That's true. And now the punt by Colin Evers, and it's fielded by Stillwell at the 30-yard line of Dowling. So Dowling's offense will start 1st and 10 from their own 30-yard line. Dowling 21, Waukee 17. The opening night of high school football here on Iowa Catholic Radio. Our 43rd year of broadcasting Dowling football. Mark Amadale joined by Matt Maindring here in the booth and John Chido down on the sidelines. Matt?
This is the drive right here. This drive here for Dowling is a chance to either eat that whole clock up. It's a big defensive series here for Waukee, but here's where you like to say Tegan Johnson.
And you might see a little Chase Hauschild in there.
Yeah.
And the handoff, well, you called it. Keegan Johnson, right side, waits for his offensive line, finds a little seam, and he's up near first down. I think he'll be about a yard shy. They'll spot him down at the 39. He picks up 9. 2nd and 1 Dowling, keeps the clock running with 5.5 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter.
Again, conditioning, where's that offensive line at right now? Can that offensive line keep this and grind out? You need about 3-4 first downs here, are even more important than the points. And you want Nank, Ryan, Sinnott, and Bowles and Stein to really make the plays at this point.
And Lynch and Schwager, who's also in there. First down carry by Tegan Johnson. Got outside the numbers, ran a little stretch play to the right, got outside the 40-yard line, and finally brought down at the 42-yard line to pick up a 3.
Now we're getting that, and this is how Louis Brooks got behind him. You get this steady punch of run, and I don't care who you are. Sooner or later, as safeties, you start creeping up, and then that guy slips behind you. Or it's Hank Hemrick going to keep one off the edge on a read option type play. But I don't know. I just keep it with the Tegan.
Tegan's doing real well as they work out of the pistol formation for Dowling. Tegan Johnson in the backfield, Schwager back there too. Handoff Tegan Johnson, follows Schwager, puts his head down, grinds it out, and he struggles to get to the 44-yard line for a gain of 2. It'll bring up 2nd and 8.
Did a lot of dancing there behind the line of scrimmage, waiting for those blockers to take hold, looking for something. He glanced outside, was going to take a run at it, and then decided to stay in between the tackles.
Well, before Louis Brooks hit the touchdown, it was a dose of Tegan Johnson for 4 straight plays, and Louis Brooks with the 34-yard reception for the touchdown.
When you're in that running mindset right here, you want 4 more yards and give yourself 3rd and short.
All right, handoff Tegan Johnson right side as he puts his head down, crosses the 45-yard line, gets up to the 46 for about a 2-yard gain. I'll bring up 3rd down and 5 for Dowling with 3:55 remaining here in the fourth quarter. Dowling 21 and Waukee 17. The Waukee defense asking their fans to stand up and cheer them on. Now the Dowling team doing the same for their fans right in front of us. A full house here, Valley Stadium.
This is high school football right
here.
It is. This is Friday night.
This is what you tweeted about earlier.
Yeah, this is it. And this is a lot of fun.
Waukee with 3 timeouts left. So has Dowling. Back to throw is quarterback Hemrick. He's hit from the blind side and brought down, sacked in the backfield. Joe Morrison with the sack. Credit Hank Hemrick for hanging on to the football as he was blindsided back at the 39-yard line.
He came untouched into the backfield, and you're exactly right. Hank did a really good job of hanging on to the football right there.
Loss of 7 on the play. We'll keep it here. Dowling 21, Waukee 17 here in Iowa Catholic Radio and the Central Iowa Sports Network. Let's go down to the Dowling sideline as the Maroons are going to be facing 4th and 13, John Chido, from their own 39-yard line. This is about execution here.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And that was a corner blitz, and it was right on Hank's blind side. He came untouched, and he said that, he's lucky to hold on that football, and he did. So it's coming down to crunch time here, and I think it's going to be the last possession is going to be Dowling's defense against Waukee's offense.
Yeah, that could be whoever has the ball last. Right now, Dowling is in a position to punt it away. They'll send in Jake Calvert to punt. The left-footed kicker will kick from his own 25-yard line. And the young man who had the sack, Joe Morrison, back deep for Waukee, number 21. He'll be attempting to return something for Waukee with 3:22 remaining, and Waukee will have the ball with all 3 of their timeouts remaining here, Matt.
Yeah, this is you need a good punt right here.
Calvert gets it away. Fair catch signaled by Morrison, and he does at the 28-yard line. So Waukee, 1st and 10 from their own 28-yard line.
Yeah, here we go.
This is what high school football is all about, Matt.
We talked about Friday nights, and, this being the first Friday night, one thing we should point out, this is the first Friday night for the band. The band did an outstanding job at halftime. Credit Hoover and Holland for that. Cheerleaders, dance team, everybody, it's the first night.
It's the opening night for everyone. Dowling leading 21-17 over Waukee. Waukee a first down at their own 28, and back to throw and dumping it off is Randall after he was under duress. The pass was caught and still on his feet as a receiver over on the far sideline. He's finally brought down right about the line of scrimmage. Boy, was that a jailbreak.
Yeah, that was a little screen pass or a little, there was a design. It looked like it was going to be a screen. We only had one blocker out there, and we made a nice hit, and I couldn't tell who made the initial hit.
That was all in front of the Waukee bench.
I think that was Lindquist that kept running. He made a heck of a play to keep that alive.
He picked up 3, 2nd and 7, and back to throw is quarterback Randall. A little fake, and then a pop pass over the right side, caught for the first down. And that is one of his tight ends. That's Eddie Sadat. He's been the kind of go-to guy here in the second half.
Deontay Gerke was coming up in coverage right there and was a step late. Otherwise, he had a chance to break that up. But Waukee's got a little momentum going right now as the clock winds down. 2:30 left, 2:31.
Yeah, 10-yard catch for Sadat. 1st and 10 Waukee at their own 41-yard line. They'll go right to left towards the north end zone. Long count by Randall. Back to throw. On play action, rolls to his right, and he'll just run out of bounds and save himself a timeout. Waukee begging for a penalty, but I think he was hit while he was still on the green part.
It's hard to tell from up here. We might, have a different view, but that was a heck of a hit out of bounds on Randall.
Stop the clock with 2:17 remaining. Out of bounds goes quarterback Mitch Randall of Waukee at the 45-yard line.
Well, the Maroons here are going to sit back. Jackson Filer again. We'll just see if he's able to get in there and make a play.
2nd down and 6. Back to throw is Mitch Randall, and the pass is caught. A little corner route on the far sideline, and it is caught by Martinez. Jalen Martinez
did a nice job of picking that ball up off the ground. Randall threw it a little bit low, and Martinez made a nice play to get to convert the first down.
Down to the Dowling 48, so a pickup of 7, and Martinez with the catch. 1st and 10 Waukee. Game clock at 2 minutes and running, as he stayed in bounds. All right, Randall out of the shotgun. Play action fake. The give is to Lindquist, and he dives forward down to the 45 for a gain of 3.
It was a good job of staying home inside there for the Maroons as Deontay Gerke makes a play there on Lindquist, because that was a quick hitter. Everybody's thinking pass, and Lindquist up the middle.
Well, keep in mind, it's kind of a chess match right now. Offensive coordinator for Waukee is Brent Highland. Defensive coordinator Grant Boston for Dowling. Back to throw is Randall. Fires it out. Pass is caught. That is Sadat again with the catch and a first down inside the 40 of Dowling.
And the clock sets while the clock stops while the chains reset. It's at 1:25 right now, and now the clock winds. The clock gets wound a little faster now than it used to. The teams go up and do this hurry-up stuff, and they get it set quickly anymore.
1:15 remaining. All 3 timeouts remaining for Waukee. First down at the Dowling 35. Low snap, and Randall picks it up, fires downfield. The pass is picked off by Dowling. Intercepted by the Maroons. Can you believe it? That's Michael Keogh, and that might be the game.
No, wait, number 7.
Or the 7 or 3?
7 or 3.
Adam Brock or Keogh?
Adam Brock.
Brock with the interception.
It's not Keogh. I think it's Keogh. I think it is Keogh.
Got the replay. Don't have the replay.
Yeah, I think they're surrounding Keogh right now.
I thought it was Keogh.
Yep.
And we'll go down to John Chido. I hope he's not in the middle of that scrum, because the Maroons are celebrating. They pick off a Mitch Randall pass, and I'm going to say it's Mike Keogh there.
Yeah,
Johnny, like that first call.
You want to get stronger, faster, healthier. You want more. You want to be part of something bigger than yourself. A place for people of all ages, all walks of life, that provides opportunities for all to succeed. We do that. We're the why.
Waukee will call timeout. We'll take one ourselves. Minute remaining here in the fourth quarter. Dowling 21, Waukee 17. Back in 1 minute on Iowa Catholic Radio and the Central Iowa Sports Network.
Central Bank is proud to support the unmatched spirit of sportsmanship and hard work exemplified by our local athletes. We're fans of high school sports and the way the big game and hometown team rally a community. Best of luck to all of today's competitors. Play hard, have fun, and make something great happen. Central Bank, member FDIC. Central Bank is proud to support.
Moms typically get to make a majority of the healthcare decisions for their family. That can be a lot of pressure, but not for me, because I know the choice is ours. For medical tests like MRIs, X-rays, CAT scans, and of course mammograms, ask your doctor to refer you to Iowa Radiology. They work around our hectic schedules, they're the best at what they do, and they're so great with my family. They truly care, and it shows. Visit iowaradiology.com or call to schedule an appointment. Iowa Radiology.
And welcome back to Valley Stadium. Maroons run a first or second down play, and Tegan Johnson gets outside the numbers, runs to his left, picks up the first down with 53 seconds remaining, and Waukee's going to burn their final timeout, so we'll keep it here. 21-17, Dowling with the lead. Waukee uses their final timeout, and Tegan Johnson, the offensive line, pick up a first down, and John Chido, you're on a very happy sideline right in front of us on the opening night, and the defending champs defend game one.
Oh, what an amazing atmosphere. This has been a great game from start to finish, and it's been physical. It's been battling. After that last series, I look over to the sideline after the celebration, and there's about 6 Dowling defenders on the ground cramping up. I mean, it's just been a hard-fought football game.
Yes, it has, and we've seen everybody give their all. Both teams are move on to next week. Next week, Dowling plays Valley here at Valley Stadium. That'll be a road game for Dowling, so the fans will end up on the east side. But Waukee takes on Southeast Polk next week, and Waukee's home opener. See, you got to put this to rest a little bit.
We get to take the favorite position in football right here. The
favorite formation.
Yeah, the favorite
and Hank
formation.
Hemrick will do the honors. He'll kneel at midfield, and Waukee cannot stop the clock. 45 seconds remaining, and that was a first down play. So
what a ball game.
This has been outstanding, and I'll tell you what, we've had 3 lead changes. Waukee took the first lead. They led 3-0 to start the first quarter. Dowling came back and scored. They retook the lead, and the Maroons held on. They were up 14-3 at one point. Waukee comes back to cut it to 14-10. Warriors take the lead at halftime, 17-14, and Dowling takes its only lead in the fourth quarter. Louis Brooks' 34-yard touchdown reception from quarterback Hank Hemrick early in the fourth quarter, and sealing the deal. How about outstanding linebacker Michael Keel, senior co-captain with the interception, seals the deal, and it's gone final. Dowling 21, Waukee 17 in week one, Matt Maindring.
What a fun ball game. Good, well-played ball game by both clubs, and that Waukee club's going to win a lot of ball games this year. They are well-coached, and Coach Carlson has got that team on the right track, no doubt about it.
Well, if players will congratulate each other as the players line. The fans will exit this game wiped out. You and I might have to sleep in tomorrow. I got volleyball at 8 o'clock over at St. Francis with my daughter, and I don't know what you do. You do not. So, but I'll tell you what, the guy who's really going to pay the price is our sideline reporter. He's got to be up very early, and I heard 7 o'clock mentioned to get up to Iowa State and watch his daughter dance for Iowa State. John Chido, is that going to happen?
Yeah, it's going to be tough, but you know what? After tonight, I don't know if I'll be able to sleep tonight. I just might wroll in tomorrow morning and hopefully get another good football game.
Put it on autopilot, John, tomorrow.
Right.
Autopilot. Hey, I got the final statistics. Coach Seifert does a great job on the Dowling coaching staff of providing that to us all season long. So let's run that down before we take our break and head into our postgame show, as we will have interviews with head coach Tom Wilson of Dowling Catholic and Matt Maindring and John Chido and myself. We're going to ask for a couple of players maybe to. I'm going to point out one. Michael Keel might need to be one, and we'll let you guys. That's my nomination. You guys can figure it out. Let's get the stats in. Waukee tonight, 325 yards of total offense. Dowling tonight with 406 yards of total offense. The Maroons picked up 112 in the air, 294 yards on the ground. Waukee with 192 yards in the air, 133 yards on the ground. Dowling penalized 8 times, 51 yards. Waukee 4 penalties for 30 yards. Each team had a penalty, or rather had a turnover. Waukee with the interception by their outstanding quarterback, Mitch Randall, into the hands of Michael Keel, and Dowling's quarterback, Hank Hemrick, fumbling in the second half. And let's take a look. First downs for Dowling, 21. Waukee had 19. Hank Hemrick tonight, the Dowling quarterback, 10 out of 18 passing, 112 yards, and a touchdown. Waukee's quarterback, Mitch Randall, 17 completions, 30 attempts, 192 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. Leading ball carrier for Waukee was Alex Lindquist. The junior had 17 carries, 101 yards, and no touchdown, average about 6 yards a carry. And quarterback Randall for Waukee, 12 carries for 32 yards. Dowling's leading ball carrier, how about this? Tegan Johnson, 30 carries, 227 yards, and a touchdown. Quarterback Hank Hemrick for the Maroons, 17 carries and 67 yards on the night. Maroons leading receiver, Louis Brooks, 3 catches, 56 yards in his first varsity start, and a touchdown. Matt Stillwell, 4 catches, 43 yards. And others in there for the Maroons, number 80, Josh Jackman, with a catch, 1 catch for 7 yards. Zach Swager, 1 catch for 4 yards. And Tegan Johnson, 1 catch for 2 yards. For Waukee, the leading receiver was Alex Lindquist, 4 catches, 72 yards, and a touchdown. And Eddie Sadat, boy, he was a drive killer at times. 5 catches, 51 yards, and a touchdown for the Waukee tight end. And Jalen Martinez, 3 catches for 32 yards. And rounding out receiving yards, Sam Odell for Waukee, 3 catches for 26 yards. So again, the final score, Dowling 21, Waukee 17. The Maroons with 406 yards of total offense. Waukee with 325. Thanks to Jared Seifert. Did a nice job coaching third base this year on the Dowling baseball team.
And he's an even better math teacher.
He is a better math teacher, and I think those stats are pretty close. We'll take a break, come back with our post-game activities along with Matt Maindring and John Chido, Mark Amadale. And again, the final score, Dowling 21, Waukee 17 from Valley Stadium in West Des Moines. You're listening to Dowling Catholic Football on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network and streaming online on the webcast at the Central Iowa Sports Network.
Schottenkirk Chevrolet Waukee will be open Labor Day 10 to 4. Chevy Labor Day sales event through September 3rd. No payments for 90 days. 0% for 72 months plus over $6,000 off Silverado double cabs. 0% for 60 months plus over $6,000 off Silverado Crew, 1LTs, and SPs. No payments for 90 days. Save in Waukee. 0 for 60 plus up to $3,000 off Equinox. No payments for 90 days. 0 for 72 plus up to $2,200 off Trax. No payments for 90 days. Open Labor Day 10 to 4. Schottenkirk Chevrolet Waukee. WaukeeChevy.com.
Moms typically get to make a majority of the healthcare decisions for their family. That can be a lot of pressure, but not for me, because I know the choice is ours. For medical tests like MRIs, X-rays, CAT scans, and of course mammograms, ask your doctor to refer you to Iowa Radiology. They work around our hectic schedules, they're the best at what they do, and they're so great with my family. They truly care, and it shows. Visit iowaradiology.com or call to schedule an appointment. Iowa Radiology.
Iowa Catholic Radio, alongside Matt Maindring. I'm Mark Amadale. What a night we saw, opening night of high school football, Matt, as Dowling wins it 21-17. Numerous lead changes. Kids left it all. What a perfect night for high school football on the opening night.
Both teams just left it all on the field, as you said, and 2 well-coached ball clubs and 2 teams that are going to win a lot of football games this year, and you know, the conditioning, as we talked about. Are we going to be in shape in that second half? And you saw Dowling eat up the whole third quarter practically on one drive. Even though it didn't score, that drive still paid dividends in the fourth quarter as they began to wear them out.
They certainly did, and Waukee got the scoring started first in the first quarter. As we wait our halftime guests on the field, we'll go down to John Chido on our Shields Sideline Report postgame show. Got started for Waukee with the field goal by Jaden to 27 yards, led 3-0. Dowling came back. Tegan Johnson on a 66-yard run, and that extra point by Calvert made it 7-3 Dowling. That was in the first quarter scoring. The second quarter, back comes Dowling, and Hank Hemrick on a 3-yard run, capped off a 6-play, 70-yard drive. Dowling led 14-3, but another catch for tonight. And then The only scoring we had in the second half, Matt, was in the beginning of the fourth quarter. Louis Brooks on a 34-yard catch
that
from
was
quarterback
the only score.
Only score we had in the second half by both teams. Dowling wins at 21-17. And as a
He's
okay. Yeah, we've got. I forgot.
We got a lot of media down here.
Yeah, we got MediaCom here. We'll keep it here, John, for now. And Johnny, your input. You were on the field. You're on the sideline the whole night. That energy between both teams was something else.
Oh, absolutely. It was a playoff type atmosphere game for the first game of the season, and it was not just spots of the game. It was the whole game, and it was a game of momentums. And defense made some nice stops. Offense finally finished some drives there at the end. And Tegan Johnson with a nice run to end the game and allow the victory formation for Hank. And I thought Hank played well as well.
He did.
He ran hard. Jackson Filer had a game. I mean, it was an all-around great football game to watch from my perspective.
You know, one of the things that as you progress through this game, John, you notice that first drive, how important was it that the Maroons were able to hold them to a field goal out of the chutes right there, because they had all the momentum in the world and the ball knocking on the door, and we were able to get them to settle for a field goal on that possession.
Oh, yeah. I mean, when I first saw that, it was like bang, bang, boom, and it was they're in the red zone. And then the Dowling defense held strong, and you're right. That was a key stop there, and then the 8-minute mark or 7:51-minute mark when they had that big stop, and then Dowling got the ball back and was able to finish the drive, and then Waukee comes back and Dowling makes another stop. But here's Coach.
All right, well, John Chido on our Shield sideline report. Dowling wins at 21-17 over Waukee in Game 1 of the high school football season. Let's go down on the field. And our Shield sideline reporter, John Chido, with head coach Tom Wilson of Dowling.
Well, Coach, it was a playoff-type atmosphere for the first game of the season. It was from start to finish very physical, intense, back and forth, big plays, nice stops, able to finish some drives there in the second half, and it was a great ball game.
It was a really good ball game out of the chute, and you're right, the atmosphere was fantastic. I usually don't notice the crowd, but I did notice ours. Obviously, Waukee turned out, but I appreciate the fact of all the support that we got. Our kids had to dig deep. On really in all phases, and sure, we've got some things to work on, but I really can't fault our effort at all.
Yeah, I've never seen high school football games when we were worried about not one tight end, two tight end with a deep threat and being able to scramble what Randall did, and then your defense held strong and made some huge plays there down the stretch.
They did. I thought we tackled better. Their guys are a handful, I thought, to tackle. Randall's a 200-pound quarterback, and, our linebackers aren't that big. So I thought their back ran hard. They did a good job, but, what a play by Michael Keogh at the end. And we just come to expect things like that from him.
Yeah, that was a nice play. He made a great break on the ball, and then Tegan Johnson to be able to finish off with that nice run there, and Waukee was out of timeouts, and you're able to finish the game. Yeah,
Tegan was a workhorse tonight, obviously. Without Gavin Williams, and hopefully in the next couple of weeks we'll get him back. Use Chase Hoschilt some. Schwager played an awful lot on offense tonight too, and it was a team effort. Hank in his first start, against a team like that, I think he did a pretty good job, and we'll learn from it and look at the tape and see what we can do.
Well, Coach, congratulations and good luck next week.
All right, thank you.
All right, John Chido with head coach Tom Wilson of Dowling Catholic following the Maroons' 21-17 win over Waukee in Week 1 of the high school football season. The Maroons ranked number 1 preseason, and Waukee ranked 8th, and both teams in different districts this year. And Matt Mainring, as John gets lined up with our next guest, a great effort, as you heard from Coach. A lot of players involved, and we named a few that made the tackles, but there's a lot of stuff going on between the tackles.
There was. And the thing that's impressive is we had a lot of guys where it was their first game out there make big impacts in the game, and we knew our offensive line, Dowling's offensive line was going to be good. That defensive front of Filer, and we called his name a lot, Pettis Patton, and Theo Davis, Pearson, those guys up front did a heck of a job for their first night out there, and it was fun to watch.
All right, let's go back down on the field with John Chido in our Shield sideline report. He has a couple of players of the game. Tegan Johnson, number 31 for Dowling, and the guy that made the interception that sealed the deal for the Maroons, senior co-captain Michael Keogh. And take it away, John, with both of them.
I'm with two Dowling captains, one defensive captain, one offensive captain. I'm going to start with Tegan Johnson, who had a great football game on the ground, blocking all different types of things. A nice run in the first half to get us down inside the goal line there. You had a couple nice runs. I mean, there's so many of them, I forgot about them. But tell us a little bit about the offensive line, and you're able to find those holes in the Waukee defense.
Oh, the offensive line did great this game. Just the whole time they were working their butts off, and majority of the time I wasn't even getting touched until I was getting to the second or third level, and they just made it easy for me.
Yeah, and it was a game of big plays in the first half, and it kind of started there, and then you guys held them scoreless. They would get inside the red zone. The Dowling defense held strong, and then you guys were able to finish a big drive there in midway through that fourth quarter.
We came up big. Louis, he made a really great play, and we just needed to work on finishing, and that's what we did.
Yeah, because that was a stretch play to the outside, and you were able to get Dowling in the red zone and being able to finish that drive there. That was a nice run by you.
Thank you.
Well, I'm with Michael Keel, a defensive player, and my perspective, I never break on the ball like I did in a high school football game, probably because I had a great angle, but it was just a great read, and it's like I could see his eyes from all the way across the field. But tell us a little bit about that play.
So basically I had a man-to-man, and I saw him go to the flat, and I waited to read the QB, and I knew that he thought the flat was open, and so I just cut under it and made the play.
So the big number 89, the tight end, and a lot in high school football, a lot of teams don't utilize tight ends. They had two good ones. They were able to stretch the field as well with a good quarterback around. I mean, he made some throws from his knees. It seemed almost going to his knees. And when he'd roll the pocket, tell us a little bit about how hard it was to defend a team like that could stretch the field and utilize tight ends with a good running game.
They had a phenomenal quarterback, Mitch. I think a 3-year starter coming back. Our defense keyed him. I thought we did really well, just bending but not breaking all game, and that's just kind of our mentality. So, yeah.
And another nice play I want to mention too. It seemed like you had Owen was doing tight coverage here late in the fourth quarter. You were playing over the top, and nice break on the ball. That was a key play too, as well as in the ball game.
Thank you. Yeah.
Well, guys, best of luck next week, and great job.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, that's John Chido on the sidelines tonight for Dowling Catholic in our Shields Sideline Report with Tegan Johnson and Michael Keel, a couple players. Hey, what a way to start the year out. A couple of captains, one on offense, one on defense, Matt Maindring, and they were just a part of the story tonight.
They were. They stepped up when they needed them, that senior leadership coming through, and as Tegan talked about the offensive line, those guys up front really did a good job for them, and you run across that group with Nank, Ryan, and Sennett, Bowles, and Stein, and they made holes in the second half. And we said it.
Yes, it did.
I would like to have seen Jim Williams have his discussion with him at halftime. We may not want to have heard it.
You don't want to mic that up too high.
No, we don't. But it was fun to see that they established a presence in that second half, in that third quarter. Again, one of those drives that had consumed a whole bunch of time, no points, but paid dividends later in the ball game.
The guys in the middle. We talked about the offensive line, and that was important. But the defensive line all night. They pitched a shutout in the second half against this Waukee offense. And Jackson Farley, we called his name a few times. One of the outside linebackers, Jalen Pettis, Theo Davis, and Austin Klein, Russ Pearson, all those guys, Owsley, Gerke at linebacker, and Kriegshauser and Michael Keel, who we just talked to. Those were all part of the Dowling defense tonight, and some of those names you heard and some you didn't.
Right, and for a lot of them across there, it's their first start.
That's correct.
And so that's a big win. Coach Bossum does an excellent job of bringing everything together, and with Coach Jack and the crew inside there, and all of the guys in that defensive war room, they really got things done and got this team ready to play.
We'll take a break here. It'll be our final break of the night as Dowling defeats Waukee 21-17 here at Valley Stadium, week 1 of the high school football season on this Friday, August 30th, 2019, along with Matt Maindring, Mark Amadale, and John Chido, back with more and closing comments here on Iowa Catholic Radio and the Central Iowa Sports Network.
You want to get stronger, faster, healthier. You want more. You want to be part of something bigger than yourself. A place for people of all ages, all walks of life, that provides opportunities for all to succeed. We do that. We're the why. Build more than muscle. build a stronger community.
Hi, Ron here, head coach of West Side Auto Pros. When your car's on the injured reserve, you want to get it back in the game as soon as possible. I know that. That's why you need to bring it here to West Side Auto Pros. I have a team of experts that can fix almost every automotive injury. Whether it's a fractured joint, a brake, or if your car just got its bell rung, no problem. We can even do a complete physical on your car to make sure it's game ready for the entire season. So bring your car to West Side Auto Pros and we'll get it back in the starting lineup in no time. Hey, you guys are dogging it back here. Let's move it, move it, move it.
And welcome back to Valley Stadium. Final time tonight as Dowling defeats Waukee 21-17, a battle of top 10 teams for Week 1. Well, we got an encore for Week 2, Matt Maindring. We'll be back here next Friday night. It's Valley Dowling Week for the Waukee Warriors.
Which sideline are we on?
We're on the other side. Oh. Well, you're with me on this side.
Okay, we'll be on this side.
But the Dowling fans will be on the east bleachers. Yeah. And for the Waukee Warriors, and I haven't heard from Mr. Tarpey. I don't know if they're doing their game next week. They host Southeast Polk. They are. I got a nod from Pete. So you'll be able to watch that game on CISN.TV. Waukee and Southeast Polk at Waukee, Pete.
Yes.
Yes, okay. They'll have both.
I'm not sure who will be at Ankeny, Valley, and Waukee.
Okay, and the other game will be at Ankeny, whoever one of the Ankeny teams are playing. And right now, you said they were going into overtime, Ankeny and Ankeny Centennial?
Centennial won, I believe.
All right, Centennial won, so there you go, and that's pretty good football for Week 1. And, Matt, we talked about football tonight and all that, but we had a lot of other activities going on. We want to thank, we talked football at halftime, too, with the Catholic Football League because they had their night. I love those kids running across the
stampede.
It was a stampede, and the coaches none of them got ran over.
No.
I mean, they held their own.
All you hope is the first 4 don't fall over, because all the other ones would pile up over the top of them. So.
Now, you put out a tweet on your Twitter account, the Dowling Principal's Twitter account, and mentioned about all the other firsts, the band and many other activities going on at Dowling.
This week is we had a great start to the school year, and all of our activities are in play. And tonight's a night of first. The marching band gets their first night in front of things. And you were doing an interview at the time, but I had to watch because this past couple weeks I've seen these dads out there working on these props. I mean, we actually have a metal spiral staircase, 2 of them, and they got rollers out there. It's amazing. 2 rider trucks rentals tonight and a semi to get the band here. And
that's why parking was a problem.
There we go. It's amazing the amount of time the parents and everybody put in to make that band run, and the cheerleaders and the dance team tonight. It's the first night for everybody, but we had a great week. The swim team did a nice job last night, beat Valley in their pool, and cross country's off. I don't think the boys have actually ran yet. Girls have ran once. Volleyball team ranked second, I believe, if I heard that right, and
had
their
nice win Monday night.
Yep, against Fort Dodge. So a lot of things clicking in the right direction, and it's just fun to watch these kids excel in their things outside of the classroom.
And just for this weekend, tomorrow in girls volleyball, number 2 Dowling at the 16-team Ankeny Centennial Tournament going on up at Centennial High School, and I believe that gets underway at 8:30 with some of the matches. And in girls swimming, Dowling swim team, one of the top swim teams around, they're on the road at Pleasant Valley. Tomorrow they'll swim at noon. So 2 activities going on.
Watch.
And I'll be at St. Francis with volleyball, and of course next week, a week from tomorrow, will be the opening of the Catholic Football League, and we talked a lot about that tonight with the president, Andy Jepson, who was our halftime guest, and John Chotto, one of the coaches in there, and one of the boards. They do a great job, and appreciate that. And dmcatholicfootball.com for more information, and their phone numbers and their email addresses are on there, Matt. So
good.
If you ever want to
contact
contact
one of them's not John's?
His is on there too.
Oh, okay.
I'm not going to give it out. They can go log on and see. But that'll wrap things up. I know we've got to get going here. We want to thank everybody involved with the broadcast tonight, especially those folks from the Central Iowa Sports Network. They do a great job, and we appreciate all their fine help, as we couldn't do it without them. And, of course, I got a producer back on Iowa Catholic Radio, Jeff Biggett. He's keeping us on the air. So hats off to everybody involved, Pete Tarpey and the group. And that'll wrap things up. For Matt Maindring, I'm Mark Amadale. Final score once again for the final time. Dowling defeats Waukee in high school football 21-17 opening night. Maroons are 1-0 on the season. Waukee falls to 0-1. Dowling and Valley next week on Iowa Catholic Radio and the Central Iowa Sports Network. And Waukee hosting Southeast Polk. Southeast Polk a loss tonight to the Valley Tigers, and that'll be 7 o'clock kickoffs next week. Join us for that. And for Matt Maindring and John Chotto, Mark Amadale, and you've been listening and watching high school football here on Iowa Catholic Radio and the Central Iowa Sports Network.